going through the veins.
Doo-doo.
The sweet tea tastes like nothing.
We will not have a martini for today. Most of today's session should probably be you guys exploring in the town. So a martia being missing shouldn't be too much of a problem. There might be combat, but that's all fine and good. Depends on how quickly you guys move along through stuff.
Not very.
Generally speaking, no. But you guys also don't roleplay it too much, so it kind of works out. Anyway, last we left off, our group of still unnamed adventurer group made their way out of Ardwall after serving their month-long sentence for crimes they did not commit.
Yeah.
And made your way towards Ardman. You guys were ambushed by some bandits, quickly dispatched them, found their base of operations, and found out that they were totally lying to you about being a noble and actually like taxing you, which would have been fully legal, but Valeria was aware that that family is not noble, and you guys found all of their fake seals, so it was quickly exposed. You made your way into the very edge of the Ardlin Mountains, up into the plateau that is the town of Ardlin itself. You went to a tavern recommended by Valeria, as she lives here.
Hi.
You guys turned in for the night after some revelry, and Valeria and Abyss are currently at the hold on, let me get that's Ardwall. I need the Ardlin notes. There we go.
I need this.
You guys are currently at the back alley, Abyss and Valeria. That is the name of the building you were in. Thus named because the only entrance is in the back alley. As the front door to the building is blockaded by a stone wall. So, the two of you awake after sleeping in the communal rest area provided by the guild. The rest of your companions are just down the street at the Squealing Pig, the largest bar in town. And you are approached by someone that you would recognize, Valeria, as one of the red gifts. They are one of the two people who hand out the missions in this particular area.
Dear God.
So, you are approached by Delius. He's a half-elven male who generally keeps his face covered. But he approaches the two of you and pulls you aside to give you your current available options for your missions. Alright. I got 3 for you. One of them's a little above your pay grade, but there's 2 of you, so you might be able to do it. We got a certain fellow named Daedalus Mournfellow, a dwarf, who is a competitor in the gem-selling field, and as such, some of the nobles didn't take quite a liking to him. He's apparently gone into hiding as he is aware of this bounty. You'll need to track him down, and this one is good alive or dead. He's worth more alive, as per usual. Secondly, I need a group of thieves cleared out. They are stirring up trouble, getting into pockets, breaking, stealing, usual thievy things. We know roughly where their base is at, as we do have some intelligence on them. You'll be sent there to take them out as quietly as possible. No survivors. We know that there are 13 members, so you need to eliminate all 13. And lastly, the most difficult of the missions, and one that you're more than welcome to turn down, because I don't believe you can do it. We actually have a mark on one of the lower end of the noble family maudlin. Valeria, you would know the Maudlin family is a noble clan of dwarves in the city. They run the main mine in Ardland Mountains, and as such they make a lot of the money for metals and such. Normally, assault on a noble is not a mission that your rank would undertake, and you get the feeling they're only offering it to you because there are two of you.
The one selling the fake gems would be in the same area we're heading to, right?
They live here in Ardland.
Ardland, yeah.
Whereabouts are you heading to?
Are we heading to Ardland?
You're already in Ardland.
We're in Ireland.
Oh, okay.
If you
I didn't know if we still had a ways to go.
The strange town you've heard about that you guys wanted to head towards, quote unquote, that I'm somewhat railroading you towards, is on the northern end of the Ardland Mountains. It's a different place, but you guys technically don't have to go there. Ardland does have work for you.
I think we can do the forgery one while we're heading to the mysterious city.
If you're heading that way, you'll need to make sure he's in the city or not first. But I suppose he may have headed that way.
That'll work.
Great. So, as I said, you're hunting down a dwarf. His name, I will put it in chat for you. His Daedalus Mournfellow. Stocky dwarf. Well-built man. Brown hair, brown beard, eye patch. He's not missing an eye, but he wears an eye patch, usually. Other signifying marks. He'll be missing one pinky. It's a bad pun. It's a real bad pun.
I regret nothing.
Oh no.
Knowing his name and having it there for reference is important, because you guys don't take notes.
No, Nate, it's the way you said it. In character.
I know,
Character
I
for that
broke
part, and
character.
then right back, it was so fluid, it sounded like you were in character saying it. It was awesome.
I do play in other D&D games and have voices for those D&D games.
His name, which I will now be putting in the chat for you, is...
His name, which I'll put on this piece of paper for you.
Written in the scroll is the name of the person who you are hunting. His description is also listed in there.
He lives on the east side of town, smaller building, one story. I'll give you the general directions. But you have 1 month. He needs to be alive or dead. You need proof if he's dead. Bring me back a finger.
How about the other pinky?
That works. As I said, he's been missing, so trail's kind of cold. He might have headed to the northern town. Who knows? It's not my business. This job's on you. And he takes a piece of paper, unrolls it, sets it out, and you see that it is the formal written contract. And as per custom in your guild, you must now prick your fingers and leave a drop of blood, signifying that you've taken it.
Okay.
Not a
I
drop
do
of
so.
sticks.
Alright, you both give a drop of blood and leave a fingerprint in blood on the scroll. He takes it back, puts a drop of his own blood up at the top. Contract is sealed. 1 month. Get it done. Rolls
See
it
you
up,
then.
stands up, gives a small nod, and heads off. You see that there are a number of other guild members. There's only about 4 or 5 of them. The other red gift isn't present in any way, shape, or form. Valeria, I am
Hello.
going to give you permission to see the Ardlin notes. Because you are from the city.
Actually,
So it's kind of buried. You're gonna go into the knowledge section and then into Verwyn and into cities, and you should find a note called Ardlin. It'll tell you about all the nobles of the city, the major buildings, the guild buildings, which are important to you, and as well as important NPCs, locations that are nearby, all that kind of stuff. Stuff that you would know having grown up here.
Okay.
In the meantime, back at the Squealing Pig, the other 3 members of your party, Martia, Lorelei, and Lufir, have woken. You've had your breakfast, all of you, all 5 of you. Lufir has to do a little bit of work to earn you guys' free breakfasts, but it's nothing at all strenuous. Most of the people want a headache, hangover food, so it's a lot of like potatoes and eggs, the hair of the dog that bit you, stuff like that.
Need a sloppy pork sandwich.
Pretty much. And, you know, a beer. Hence the hair of the dog that bit you. So, Abyss and Valeria, after probably not even like 10 minutes after you guys have finished your breakfast, show up at you guys' table, Lorelei and Lufir.
Good morning.
Oh, and as a note, I won't be actively role-playing Cirlius for the most part. He'll be hiding out in Abyss's backpack, and you guys will have to like specifically talk to him to get him to tell you stuff and to interact.
Okay.
He also will no longer participate in combat unless you specifically bring him out, Abyss. Mostly because, generally speaking, you guys technically don't need him. He's not very good at anything aside from like crowd control.
He's good at
Yes,
some
thanks.
stuff. Not everything, but some.
He's
He
still
can-
a friend.
He can polymorph somebody once per day, and he can throw in a really damaging ice spell. That's about it.
That's useful.
But yeah, he basically like lives inside of Abyss's backpack and has been since you guys arrived. He doesn't want to be seen much, as fairy dragons are extremely rare, and some people might try to kill him, kill you. Lord knows.
Well, Lord, what do you know?
Kill him, kill you, crunch, crunch.
Yeah, crunch, crunch, crunch.
Okay.
Lord knows, crunch, crunch, crunch. So-
Good morning, you two.
I agree with his coughing.
Because Abyss and Valeria do have the general directions that leads to the Mournfellow home.
Did you two finish what you had to do last night?
Yes.
Yes.
That's good. I assume we...
The payout for this is the same as last time, 50 gold. And since there's 2 of you, it'd be split.
Okay.
There's a low tier
I
mission.
assume we have a new direction to go. Yes? No?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lorelei? Input here? No.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, whoa.
Does
No?
Lorelei
Okay.
have any
Great.
input?
Okay.
Apparently not.
Sorry, what happened?
He's asking what you guys want to do today, essentially.
Like, legit, I have no idea what the hell is happening in our campaign or where we're going, so it's all really on you guys. I'm just kind of...
Well, Abyss and Valeria have a mission. You guys were given a general direction because there's literally a town that just showed up out of nowhere.
I guess we're going there.
Which, by the way, you are
You're
aware
already
of.
heading there.
You are aware of this. There are no roads that lead to this town.
Okay, it's not like we have a cart or anything.
You guys could procure a cart, or you could do work in town to earn money. There are options.
Not options.
Well, he
Hey,
has quite a few options.
If Abyss and Valeria want to go back, there's technically 3 just in this town.
And I can cook for a living.
This isn't downtime.
Okay,
But
let's see how I can make some money. See how Al can make some slow food fast.
well, are
Put it
we
in a
going
catapult.
to? Are we
What?
going to head? Are we going to head straight for this town, or are we going to take care of whatever you two have cooked up?
We have a month for that.
Wait,
Okay.
is there a jeweler in this town?
I mean, it's a town. There probably is children.
No, he's a jewel.
Jeweler. You'd be aware of this, Valeria. Yeah, there's quite a few jewelers in town. One of the other noble family owns a gem mine.
I was trying to look through the notes, see if it was in the notes, to be honest.
Well, not in that in particular. You would have no need of a jeweler in your previous life.
Fair.
But yeah, the Trellius clan, a secondary clan of dwarves, owns a gem mine. So gems, jewelry, that stuff is commonplace here.
Perfect. I have a jeweler's toolkit that I don't see myself really using.
You're missing a few pieces.
Irregardless,
Sell it.
it'll still sell for something.
I can't promise it'll sell for much, but
Especially in this town.
You'd
I
think
hope
it
you
would
know
sell
how to
for
haggle.
more. And maybe
You
these
also have-
fake jewels I can find someplace to offload them for a little extra cash on our hand.
Good luck.
You also have that hunk of obsidian too.
Yeah, I'm debating if that will actually sell in this town. I don't have an... Do I have an instinct that'll sell in this town?
Make an intelligence check.
Ah,
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna sell in this town.
that.
No, that's what it's gonna come out to. I have very poor intelligence.
Yeah.
Oh, we all know.
Wait, why is it 0 + 1?
We did.
Just that
you-
one brain cell firing.
No. You have 0 to your intelligence. Your modifier is your 0, but you get a +1 because of your jack of all trades.
Oh, nice.
If Valeria does tell you that there are jewelers and the like, obsidian would probably sell in this town pretty easily. Because there are people capable of working with it, being as it is technically a form of gem or glass. You might be able to find someone. The trick would be finding someone wealthy enough.
Yes, that is the big problem.
Because it
Well,
is
you know what?
expensive.
I
Make sure
will
you don't
use-
show it to somebody that you don't want seeing it.
What's her name? Lorelai's somewhat knowledgeable in
Valeria, make a history
this
check for me real quick.
thing. Who would buy what, I think? Or I would like to think.
I'm not that smart.
What are you talking
I
about?
don't
You're
know
the
if Nate would
highest
agree with that.
intelligence in the party.
Not
With
that
a
smart in
10?
history. How about that?
I mean, you've still got a +4 in it.
Oh.
I have an 18 in intelligence.
Strads is a smarty pants.
Oh no, I was like, I'd probably know who to sell it to.
You're aware that the crafting guild isn't in this town. They have a presence, especially the crafting hall. You might be able to find. There might be like a noble who is particularly interested in an obsidian work. They might purchase it from Lorelei to commission someone to work with it. So it's kind of a middleman selling, but she might be able to offsell it at the crafting hall.
You could try the crafting hall.
Crafting hall. Okay. May have maybe even an auction house.
Meanwhile, the crafting hall is a very strange term to you, Lorelei, as you've never encountered the Crafters Guild.
I'm just gonna assume it's a giant room with crafting equipment
Not,
everywhere.
not technically wrong. It is a very large open market.
Okay, no, I'm literally assuming it's a room inside of a building with just like crafting tables of different benches in a room. That's how I see it.
No, it's like the Parthenon, but filled with crafting utensils and stuff. Anyway, you guys can certainly head there. You finished with your breakfast at this point.
All right, I shall do that. With the dooting.
Everybody else gonna go along? Or you guys
Sure,
want to
why
split
not?
up?
I shall go with Lorelei.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sticking together? Alright, the Martio will also tag along. So, you guys make your way from where you are on the Lower East Side. This would be up towards basically the center of town. Not quite, a little bit more to the east. You guys arrive, like I said, at a large Pantheon science building. There's a large square directly next to it with a huge amount of open space, a large fountain, some statues. Basically, a lot of the guild higher end artisans. A lot of their stuff is on display in the courtyard itself. So there's all sorts of like woodwork, stonework. There's jewelry on the statues. There's armor and weapons being worn and held by the statues. It's a little opulent and a little. It kind of looks a little bit like a mess. Everything looks well made, and as you enter through the pillars, there's just hustle and bustle of all sorts of crafting sounds. There's people barking for like, jewelry, get your jewelry, handcrafted by the finest elf in town. There's a dwarf barking out, I got shields for days for you. Keep yourself protected from the nasty gnolls in the mountains. Just all sorts of barkers trying to sell their wares.
For days.
Got shields for days, and sure enough, looking behind him, he literally has an absolute pile of crates, presumably filled with shields.
What kind of shield are you looking for?
I got bucklers, I got leather strapped, I got iron, I've even got adamantium shields. I can get you a tower shield for 30 gold.
What do you say?
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me, Lorelei, and anybody may participate as they like.
Yes, do participate. I have terrible investigation.
Does anybody want to assist? You gotta give them a chance before you roll.
Oh.
Okay.
Does anybody want to assist or make a roll themselves?
I was going to assist.
I'll assist.
Are you proficient in investigation, Valeria?
I am.
Lorelei, roll again.
I am not.
Gasp.
Okay, since Valeria is already assisting at this, your assistance is not needed. You can make it.
Are you kidding me?
Maybe I should just
That's
roll
a 20.
control.
It's a 10.
That's 2 10s.
Yeah, you had advantage and rolled 2 10s. Nice. I love it when that happens. Okay, just kind of following the Barkers, trying to find anyone who deals in... Oh god, what even would you... I guess since you only rolled a 10, you're probably looking for like a jeweler.
No, that's exactly where I would be. IRL, that's exactly who I would be heading in.
Okay.
Who you would be heading in?
All right. So
Some
the
sort of a
the group
jeweler.
of you kind of like making your way through. It's not necessarily crowded. There's just kind of a lot of noise. So you guys easily make your way through part of the building and start looking around, and you find what seems to be like the higher end artisans kind of a room. Presumably these are the people who made all the stuff that's in the courtyard.
Shit.
And sure enough, there are a couple of different jewelers in this room.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Valeria, please make a perception check for me. And nobody may join in on this roll. Nobody needed to.
Good lord.
So, Valeria, in your major NPCs, there is one known as the Pale Lady. Lady Innistree, the head of the Noble Innistree House, as well as the head of the Noble Council that runs this town. You see her perusing the different jewelry crafters and their wares as you guys enter into the room. She is accompanied by her usual 2 guardsmen, and she's dressed somewhat plainly for her, which is still relatively opulent. Her skin's as pale as it always is. Her hair pale as it always is. She's got a small circlet around her head of silver. She's wearing fine red clothes accented with silver and gold.
This is somebody who might want to purchase the obsidian.
Possibly. She is looking at jewelry, but you know that speaking to her directly is not allowed. You would need to attempt to get the attention of one of her guards. And
Oh my god! Well, Lorelei, there is somebody that would like to purchase your obsidian, but it's complicated to get her attention. You'll have to get her guard's attention in order to talk to her.
Get a guard's attention.
Her guards.
I wonder how difficult this could be.
depends on how difficult you make it.
Nate, or any of them human, please tell me what they are.
The lady herself is a half-elf. Her guards both appear to be elven.
Okay, thank goodness. Okay.
Appear to be elven.
Well, but appear is better than blatantly appearing to be human would be a little helpful.
Mm.
Okay, well then.
But again, you cannot talk to her directly.
Any other information? Anything useful?
Mm, good luck.
Okay, I will attempt to calmly peruse towards the guard directly rather than the lady.
Well, he's directly next to her.
Oh, what? Or is he like looking around that maybe I can gesture?
They do occasionally look around. You can attempt to gesture them towards you.
Yes, I would like to attempt to gesture or attempt to make myself visible to the guard that I would like to commune with him.
I mean, you are an already very visible person. The lot of you are extremely visible amongst a crowd.
Yes, I figured we are severely underdressed for the situation.
Well, no, you're blue, Valeria's red, Abyss is slightly yellow-bluish, Lufir is the only normal one amongst you, and Amartia is gray.
Yeah, that,
You guys are a smattering of strange colors.
No, this is great.
Okay, the Rainbow Pride Party would like to initiate communication with the guard.
Yeah, no, it doesn't take long for him to notice your group, and if you kind of give him a motion to come closer, he'll kind of give a whisper to the other guard and step your way. So approaching you, you see fully armored in like scale mail, somewhat elvish looking, but he's got a strange bluish tint to his skin, and he has no pupils. His eyes are
Okay.
entirely white.
He's
Sorry, no
what's it
pupils and no
called?
iris.
He's a what's it called, isn't he?
He's
Is he
not. He's
blue?
not blind.
No, Esmar.
No,
Esmar,
he's an elf.
Oh, okay.
But this is an elf you've never, you have no idea what kind of an elf this is.
No recollection.
A rarity among rarities.
Pretty much.
A beautiful man.
But anyway, he approaches you. May I help you, Blue One?
Yes, please. I would actually like a moment with your. I pause for a moment, scratching my head. Boss would be the word. Your lord, your master. I'm not sure what to describe her as.
He kind of looks you up and down. You're not from town, are you?
No, unfortunately, I'm from the Vithril Mountain and have little information of this town other than that she may be interested in procuring a rather large stone of onyx that I have.
On it. Obsidian.
Obsidian.
Not too dissimilar. Anyway, onyx.
Oh, fair.
Onyx is a form of obsidian. I'm not entirely sure on that. And if you call something an onyx tower, I think it means it's made of obsidian. I'm not entirely sure about that.
I'll look it up later.
But onyx is also like jet black color. Anyway, the lady does not converse with regulars freely.
Well, perhaps then I can use you to converse through you, or perhaps you can
He puts
move
out
us towards
he
somebody.
puts out a hand. May I see the stone?
And I will
Onyx
gladly
is
hand
made
you.
from black and white strands of silica.
Yes, I will hand him the stone, and silica is basically the material for glass.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you hand him the stone, and he kind of takes a look at it. It's a good size. Come, and kind of motions for you to follow him, and he goes over to one of the jewelers that the lady is currently not at.
Ah, perfect.
Basically, he just uses the jeweler to inspect and give a rough estimate of how much the
No,
obsidian
that's
would be worth.
Understandable.
The jeweler lets them know that they would buy the obsidian for about 700 gold. Because of, there are very few impurities, but it's an odd shape. and thus it's not super great for depending on what you want it to be used for. After that, he turns back to you. I shall confer with the lady a moment. Is it fine if I take this with me?
Do take your time. We'll continue to browse here.
I will find you in a moment. And he turns and heads back. The lady is meanwhile leaving the room, so he kind
Lord.
kind
Either
of
way, the
rushes
jewelers
after
that
a
we're
little.
talking to,
Mm-hmm.
I just hand him the toolkit.
Okay, you set the toolkit on the jeweler's desk.
It's valuable to you.
Oh, I already have my set. And you're missing a few pieces.
I'm aware. It's just I have no use. In God's name, what would I do with the jeweler's kit?
You could
I'm a
learn to
merchant, not a
use it.
jeweler.
You could learn to use it. There's certainly plenty of jewelers in town. There's even a school for it.
How long would that take?
The school runs year-round, but generally it takes about most of the year.
I will have to consider that. Also, since you seem to know this...
You could also sell it to the school. They might take it even if it's not complete.
If it's a school, I'll just donate it. Let them learn.
I mean, if you want to donate it, I'll take it to the school. That's fine.
Yeah, so be it. I mean, it's worth probably, a 2 gold, Nate? 2, 3 gold? 15 gold? 10 gold?
Make an intelligence check.
No, I was just asking you. I'm ready to donate it. I just want to know for future reference.
Metagaming a little bit, but that's fine. It's worth 25 gold all told for a new full set. So
whatever, it's fine.
Guess what you will at how much it's worth incomplete and used.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, you know what? It brings up our credit with the town, and it gives us a little bit of reputation and pull. I'm cool with that.
All right, yeah, he'll take it from you. He does give you he gives you like 3 gold.
Nice. And allow me to discuss with him the fake gems, acknowledging or stating to him that they are indeed fake.
Oh, the fake jewelry?
Yes, just so I can get an idea of where I could possibly would be a good idea to get rid of them or to sell them or to give them to.
Okay, so he examines them. Some of them, he says, are of a very good make. If they weren't fake, these would sell for quite a high price. Fake jewelry isn't super popular in this town. You might be able to sell it to, there are a few stores that deal in used goods, pawn shops basically, that you might be able to sell them. If you tell them that they're fake, they might buy the whole bulk, because there are lower class citizens will sometimes buy fake jewelry just to appear fancier when they go out to certain places. He does.
That sounds like an asshole move.
I mean,
People do it all the time.
Yeah, it's something that happens IRL. People buy cheap jewelry, painted gold and painted silver.
What do they call it? It's called
Fool's
costume
gold.
jewelry.
Yes,
That too.
costume jewelry. He does tell you that some of the smaller towns might enjoy these a little bit more, just because it costume jewelry would be extremely rare in those kinds of towns, and as such, they'd be great for children. People would, the town would feel fancier as a whole.
Perfect. That's actually a very good idea.
So a town like Amsville, Crescent, or Sinsvin, some smaller farming towns. He does inform you that amongst the batch of your fake jewelry, there is one very well-cut glass gem that he wishes to purchase from you.
Give me 1 second, sorry.
1.
Tippity tappity typing stuff. By
Sorry,
the
I
way,
was making a
Valeria,
player load and I don't have the brain power to do 2 things at once.
oh, that's fine. By the by, while Lorelai's doing this, the rest of you can feel free to let me know if you want to check anything else. This place is huge and has a lot of different crafting persons in it. Anyway, he notices a particularly well cut glass gem in your collection of fakes, and he says that he wishes to buy it.
Go on.
He'll give you 12 silver for it.
Oh, 12 silver. Okay, yeah, it's a nice gem, but not something okay.
Okay, so you hand him over. It's a probably about the size of your palm, and it's meant to be a mimic sapphire, so it is a bluish color. It's like it looks real. This is the best fake out of all of the stuff you have.
Just imagine if you were evil, you could have just sold
Lorelai
so
is
much.
evil.
I am evil, but it doesn't benefit me to screw a reputation.
Ronnie's the smart kind of evil. Where, yeah, I do bad things, but I also need to make sure I maintain an air of good, otherwise I get fucked.
My problem is I don't think I can actually play as a lawful evil because I think that the way I'm playing is not lawful evil.
No, the way you're playing it is lawful evil. You do bad things, but you're also well aware that
I
Bad shit
know what
gonna
I'm
happen.
doing.
also, as a note, the giving away your jewelry set definitely wouldn't be an evil act.
Yeah, no,
I'm a
give it away
ship.
for more of the. Hey, this person is helpful to the town. More of the reputation boost versus anything else. That's my goal. I don't know if
Instead
that
of self-flatulence.
anything that furthers your own goal can be considered evil, depending on how you do it.
Yes, it is to further my goal.
Anyway, so he gives you the
What?
12 silver for your fake sapphire.
Nice.
You're evil. Congratulations.
If you guys did not know, yes, Lorelai is of an evil alignment.
By the way, am
No,
I
yeah.
able to exchange some gold into platinum? Because I'm starting to get weighed
You
down.
you guys can. You'll have to go to. There's a bank in town, but you guys can go convert coins.
Perfect. We're gonna have to make a stop there because I'm starting to get weighed down with gold here.
How much gold is per platinum? Is it 10?
It's 10. Does anybody want to look at any other artisan crafts and such while you guys are here? While Lorelai waits for word from the Gray Lady. Pale Lady, sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say. The Grey Lady is behind us.
The Gray Lady's
Ooh.
dead.
You know what? Mayhaps have him look at the soul
Grey's
stone.
dead.
He would know what it is.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
So
Hold
here's
on, I'm
something I will
debating on
say.
that.
Your character,
Yeah, don't do it.
Your character is aware that this is a horribly evil item.
Yeah, I just as soon as I said that, I'm like, probably not a smart idea. Yeah, nix that complete idea. My bad.
That would fucking great.
If they knew what it was, it would probably go poorly for you.
Yeah, exactly why I just changed my mind.
Or it could go extremely well, depending on who you're talking to. Anyway, does anybody else want to look at anything while you guys are here? Abyss, I know you were about to say something earlier.
I don't remember what it is.
Great. Do you guys want to go look at anything in particular while you're here?
I was gonna look for some magic items, but I don't know where
There
to
is
start.
generally every single kind of crafter here. If you want to find specifically magic items, roll investigation. As a reminder, magic is somewhat rare, so magic items are a little harder to find in this campaign.
Womp.
A 10. and did not ask anybody if they wanted to join, so it's just a 10.
Nice.
Anybody else want to look for anything while Lufier searches for magic swag?
Swag.
I wish to look for commencing the jiggling.
Well, all you got to do is start playing music.
Wait, is there like a small band or group around here?
Troop.
Yeah, there might be a performance troupe.
Like, I feel like this
Not
area
necessarily
might have
part of the
something.
guild, but just kind of like people playing some soft-ish music
Panhandlers.
to.
Well, yes. Then, if there is or isn't, I would like to just kind of, because Lorelai is now bored and would like to play music.
You're gonna go join the troupe.
But Lorelai is bored and would like to play music.
Yeah, but you're waiting for someone.
I am also very short.
Attention.
Okay, fine. I will continue to wait for like another minute.
Great.
I'm very short.
Valeria, Abyss, do either of you want to look for anything, or are you just gonna follow Lufier?
Is since magic is rare, would enchantments be rare as well?
Extremely.
Ooh.
They're artificers don't exist in this campaign setting.
Oh.
So having someone enchant your stuff is next to impossible. You guys will either need to have it made by a mage or find it.
I'll just go with Lufier then.
Adventure.
Valeria, you as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys follow Lufier as he starts to venture around looking for magic items. It takes you guys about 20 minutes before you realize that none of you have any means of telling what's magic and what isn't. Lufier ends up
Just following
stopping at a
my
few
nose.
places that have like stuff on display with like special runes carved in and the like, but they are entirely superficial. And while you're walking around Lorelei, the guardsman does approach you again, and he's holding a bag of coins.
Just okay.
The lady is willing to offer an amount of platinum equal to 800 gold pieces, so 80 platinum.
That does sound like a horse and carriage to me.
I mean, the horse and carriage is only like 100 gold. Or what did I say last time? Like 155
Yeah.
gold?
How do we obtain all this money so easy? How do we always do this, guy?
Because last campaign you guys started in a high magic world and got a lot of money real quick by doing some stuff I did not expect you to be able to do. You guys were not meant to fight the boss, Sahuagin, and the witch.
But we did.
Yeah,
We did it.
that was back before I knew how to stack
Kill us?
enemies better.
Like the beholder
Yeah,
that we
like
saw it.
like the beholder that you decided to fight.
Listen,
Anyway,
in
do you
my
take?
defense,
Do
Listen,
you
I didn't know beholders were that difficult at the time.
mhm.
a group of 4 adventurers would need to be like level 13 or 14 to have any hope of killing a beholder. Anyway, Lorelei, do you take the platinum?
I will gladly take the platinum and tell him I do hope to conduct business with the lady in the future.
If you find more of the obscene obsidian, she may be interested.
Anything
day.
else she finds is good day.
He walks off. You have a small pouch containing 80 platinum.
You also have
And
a
you-
bag of holding.
Well, no.
I knew that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lufier does.
never mind.
My weight now increases a further amount.
Okay, that one. You got this.
Jeez, I am starting to reach my limit.
You're also really loaded right now.
Yes. In money.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
hey, that's what happens when you roll a natural 20 when I have a huge minefield of treasures you guys could have found in that place. I literally had a list of these are the things they can find. And
These are
these
the
are the
things.
DCs to find some.
Wait, what place?
The Trail
The
of Chaos.
fireplace.
No, the
Yeah.
Trail of
Oh,
Chaos.
yeah.
Every room had its own like treasure chart. You
Well,
guys
then I
could
guess
have
I
gone
have really
mining
lucky.
in the Earth room. That would have been hilarious.
Future self noted.
But also, none of you are probably any good at mining because it's a strength-based
Yeah.
activity.
Okay, I'm not good at strength.
None of you are. Nobody has a high strength stat in this campaign.
I mean, I have a 14.
I think that's about as high as it gets. Yeah,
got
I think a bunch of
13.
you have like 14 and 13.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lorelai, you want to go looking for anything now that you have money to spend? Ronnie?
Sorry, I had to mute myself. LJ was talking. No, I would just like to go and doot loudly and proudly.
Great. Make a performance check.
Oh dear God. I would like to cast inspiration.
Nope.
No.
Damn it.
Why are you playing a flute anyway?
Because I am bored.
Yeah, but you guys are
Oh,
done
wait, no,
here if you don't want to go look for anything else.
Oh, is everyone done?
Nobody else wanted to find anything except for Luffy or wanted magic items and doesn't know how to find them because nobody knows detect magic.
Oh, I figured we were just kind of like staying around while everyone looked.
No.
No.
I guess
You
we're
guys
leaving.
can search around. You certainly have money to purchase things now.
I don't know of anything I want to search for, though.
Those, if you wanted to find one of the specialty weapons on the homebrew weapons list, this would be the place to either find it or requisition it.
Oh God, I will look for it. Yeah.
Wait,
Someplace I can just have
okay,
it
homebrew.
look for.
Yeah, there's homebrew weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Where
gonna
is
look
it
for
under
the.
class?
I'm gonna look for
No,
the
it's
thing
under
you need.
it's under the weapons.
There's
that-
nothing under.
No, in that same Google Doc you were on earlier.
Oh,
The homebrew rules
Ooh, a
doc.
whip blade.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for that.
That's the one that Chris wants.
I want to see one of those too.
hey, Nemia.
Roll investigation.
Okay.
Anybody
What
want
has
to join
done
her?
with your-
I will.
Are you proficient in investigation?
That means it's checked, right?
Yes.
Yes, and
Yes,
no, I am
but
not in. But am I?
Lupus, you have advantage on your investigation check because Luffy is joining you. Jesus. Okay, that's an 8.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna roll now.
No, she got advantage because you assisted her. If you want to roll separate, you got to make that known. Okay. You do find some strange weapons, but nothing in the form of a whip blade. The strange weapons you do find are more like they're more stylized weapons rather than actual different homebrew weapons. They've got like a 3-daggered or a 3-point dagger. The middle point is slightly longer than the other 2 points. They have curved knives, like kukri, and some exotic styles. It's more, you can tell that these two vendors are more like, they like to change the shapes of things, and they have a specific style of weapon crafting. These would be the quote unquote Middle Eastern style weapons and the Eastern style weapons.
Nate, you're killing me here.
What?
You added a war scythe, but you did not add a badass hammer.
Because all the types of hammers that there could be already exist in base game.
Oh, okay then.
They have.
Could I
They already have
ask one of
clubs, great
the-
clubs, small hammers, light hammers, great hammers, and mauls. So
Could I ask one of the shopkeepers in my character? Would he know exactly what the whip looks like that he wants, or would it be something he comes?
you mean the one
across?
that you want?
Yeah.
your character probably hasn't quite figured out that they would like to have. I mean, you might have a general idea of like, man, it'd be nice if my whip had edges to slice instead of having to snap it. But you would probably have to figure out a design first before you actually took it to anybody, which means you'll need to spend some time researching.
Okay.
So keep that in mind, because that's a downtime activity.
All right.
So that goes for you too, Abyss. If you want to spend next time we have downtime, you can spend time researching different weapons if you want to.
Also, Nemia, please just move the mic away.
It's her phone.
Oh,
It's my headset, actually. I have it on a headset.
Yeah, it's plugged into your phone though.
Because computer picked, it can't pick up shit.
Computer
It doesn't
shit.
have arms. How is it supposed to pick up anything with arms?
Especially poop.
actually, you know what? I'll just turn you down. There we go.
Anyway, you guys can convert your coins at the bank if you want to. You can also deposit. Well, actually, I think only one of you can actually deposit.
Hello.
No.
What?
Shit.
The bank is run by the Silver Sails.
Hey, I could do that.
Are you part of the Silver Sails?
He is a member. He's the lowest rank.
Silver rank.
Silver rank.
Oh,
Crap.
that reminds me. I did actually finally write down all of the ranks. How long did we say you were in the Silver Sails in your background, Lufier?
Oh god, you're gonna make me look.
2 days.
Not long enough. Yeah.
You were on the sail. You were on the ship, right? You did.
Yes. I did stuff.
You were probably just a deckhand. Which is that means you're above member rank, and you're also above runners. Runners are people who just run stuff from the docks to different towns, and warehouses and such. So you have a decent rank. You could deposit money and items and such at the Silver Holdings if you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go trans my money to, actual.
If you guys need help converting up, just let me know.
It's 10 gold per platinum.
10 gold per platinum, 10 silver per gold, 10 copper per silver. We aren't using Electrum because that's stupid.
Electrum, that's stupid. You're right.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody use Electrum.
Because it's 5 silver for an Electrum and then 2 Electrum for platinum. It's a middle ground if you don't want to give your players, or sorry, I think it's the middle between silver and gold. I think so there's just no point.
Wait, so you said it was 10?
It's 10.
For
It's always
gold?
10.
Okay, cool.
It says I worked as the cook and rigger of sales.
Okay,
So-
that means you're titled, which is 1 rank above deckhand. And your title would probably just be chef.
I do the cooking. I keep people alive.
Yeah, you're dickhand.
Because doing the sales is deckhand work.
Yeah.
Are we at the bank at this moment?
Currently, yes.
Okay, I would like to convert monies.
You guys can technically deposit things through Lufier. They will go into his account.
Give me your money.
No,
No.
if you want to have like items stored or shipped to other
Yeah.
places, this is where you do it.
I need to refresh my screen.
So let's say you wanted to have
What?
let's say you wanted to have a shipment of iron sent to a different town. This is where you would go for Lufier to be able to do it for free.
Yee.
Otherwise, you'd have to pay someone, a courier.
Interesting.
Essentially, if you guys ever do get to the point where I give you a base of operations, the silver sales is how you would send stuff back home.
See, that's nice to have. It wouldn't cost us anything really with me doing it.
Well, it wouldn't cost you to get it close.
Yeah.
If you have it, let's say you guys decided to take over that bandit house that you found last session, you would have to send the stuff to Ardlin, and then you'd have to get it taken out. You'd either have to pay someone to take it there, or you'd have to go back to Ardlin and take it yourself.
Wait, can we take that house? I thought we told the authorities.
You told the authorities that it was illegally built and illegally owned.
Okay.
It still exists. You'd have to go about somehow procuring the rights to have it.
Which she will not tell us, because that would be too easy.
Exactly. Also, it's a 2-room building on like a day's walk outside of Ardlin. Like, there's not too much of a reason to want it.
No, just for future reference, I have ideas.
You're gonna start a necromancer cult in that house.
He's gonna be a
I will
sucker.
resurrect Eliana and dash into this game.
Anyway, so you guys stop off at the bank. Yes, Chris?
I need your brain for math real quick.
Okay.
I had 31 gold and 27 silver.
Okay. So 27 silver turns into 7 silver, and you get 2 gold additional.
And then the 33 gold now.
Well, 30 goes away and turns into 3 platinum.
Okay. 3 platinum.
As a note, while you guys are doing this conversion, you're getting some looks, because platinum is not very widely used for people who look like you guys do. Your clothes are pretty worn. You're somewhat dirty. Kind of have a smell to you, especially you, Lufier.
Oh.
What?
Do I
You
smell
smell
like
like a
my
wet dog. But yeah, you kind of notice yourselves at this point that you could, if you wanted to, you could certainly use new clothes and a bath.
Yeah. I'm going to I'm gonna go get a bath and buy some try some better clothing.
Does everybody else want to as well?
Yeah.
You know
let's
what? That
take a
would be a
bath.
good idea. Part of a salesman has to look good. You look like crap. No one's gonna buy nothing from you.
So, Valeria,
If your enemy can smell you, you're kind of fucked.
you
That too.
guys don't smell that bad. It's only been like 5 days of very light travel, because you guys came from Ardwall, where you bathed every day, because the barracks had its own bath. Valeria, roll history with advantage to see what you know about bathhouses and clothing.
How do I roll it with advantage?
Up at the top of your character sheet, it should say advantage, normal, disadvantage. Just click on the advantage one.
Could I use my nose to sniff out a bathhouse?
You can certainly try, but you don't need to.
Okay.
Okay, so 23.
Well, oh, never mind. I was scrolled way up high.
Yeah, you accidentally clicked it twice. So 23. There are a couple of different bathhouses in town. In particular, near the mining camps, there are quite a few, because miners get very dirty, and they probably don't want to stay dirty. However, you would know that there are a couple of bathhouses outside of the mining areas. You guys could go to an upper scale one, a middle scale, or you can go to one of the lower scale miners' bathhouses. The upper scale will cost you guys about 5 gold each. The mid one will cost you about a gold each, and then the miners' ones will cost you about a silver each. But only the high tier one will clean your clothes and such for you.
Go on, I'm going to the high tier.
Well, given that I'm buying new clothes.
Actually,
The
yeah,
high tier one is also like you wash yourself, and then it's a communal heated bath. The other ones are like you get a room to yourself. You have to light the fire and wait for the bath to get warm and stuff like that. And you have to put out the fire when you're done. So
I'm still gonna try and buy new clothing, but I'm gonna go to the high tier one.
what about everybody else?
All right, high tier.
Okay. Lorelai.
Lorelai, and all it does is just the communal bath part thing?
Well, they also will wash and launder all your clothes for you. It's heated on its own, meaning you don't have to start your own fire.
Bruh, I've been raised in a forest my entire life. I don't think I care.
Okay. So you're going to one of the middle
Be
or the
cheap.
lower? You're going the cheapest?
I'll be cheap. Yeah.
Great.
But
So
you have money.
that Lorelai can do exactly as Lorelai wants to.
Fair.
Lorelai's cheap.
Abyss, what about you? Do you want to go to the higher end, the middle tier, or the lower end?
I can probably take middle tier.
Okay.
You know what? I'll go middle tier as well. Fuck it.
Martia. I'm also going to convert Amartia's money for her, since she's not here. Amartia will join the two going to the mid tier, because she also doesn't need to spoil herself. Okay, so the two of you going to the higher end one, that's 5 gold apiece. The three of you going to the lower tier one, that's 1 gold apiece.
First, find clothing.
Wait, is mid tier like 3?
Mid tier is 1 gold. The
Oh.
lower end is 1 silver. And it's cold water, scrub yourself, and then get the hell out. Like it's get yourself clean and then get the fuck out kind of place.
They don't.
Get in, get out. Suka.
Bliat.
Probably be good for hot days.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty high up elevation wise. This is a plateau in the mountains, so
It's cold.
It gets hot in the mine, so I guess I'd see it's okay for the miners, but
anyway, so mark that down, and then clothing. You guys can acquire new clothes. Most of you are probably already wearing traveler's clothes, so you can get a new set of traveler's clothes. You have common? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have
same here,
dark common.
Okay. If you guys want to go up a tier of clothing, you can get travelers.
How good is traveler's clothes?
Traveler's clothing is like long pants, under breeches, a long shirt as well as a vest. Whereas common clothes is just like a thin pair of pants and a shirt.
How much for
Common
upgrading
clothes is stuff for
past
like
common?
wearing in town, and then the traveler's clothing is meant to be like a little warmer, a little more meant to be travel approved. Yeah.
How much would Noble's clothes cost?
Fine clothes are
More-
15,
Yeah.
15? Okay.
and those are like really well made clothes. You can get much more breathable materials.
How much is
embroidered.
travelers?
2 gold.
So you said it was 5
I'll get
for
it.
the 5 for the bath, and then I'll buy some. I'll buy some. What's it called? Fine clothing.
You can get fine clothing? Okay. As a note, because of your shifting, you will need to get some slightly larger clothes.
Yeah.
So it'll cost you an extra 2 gold.
That'll be all 3 of my platinum.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yep, okay.
it would be 17 gold, unless you want to get extra sets of clothes. All told, it would be 22 gold for you after the clothes and the bath.
That's fine. I'll use 2 platinum for that then.
I'll get new traveler's clothes. So that's only 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 3 pounds, right?
Most of the clothes are 3 pounds, yeah.
I have 8 platinum.
Between Amartia and...
I'm gonna try to use the
Oh, I
compendium
did
on my
Amartia's
phone.
math wrong. That's why. I was like, how did... Yeah, she should have 8 platinum, not 80.
So I can wear medium armor.
You can wear any armor you want. It's just that you might not do well in it.
No, I want something that's going to give me a little more protection, being that I'm mostly a support.
Be aware, the medium armors only allow you to use 2 of your dexterity.
Yeah. Okay. What's my dexterity at? It's at 3.
What you might want to consider is, if you're not using your weapon, you might want to get a shield.
I actually thought about the shield, honestly, like maybe a little arm shield or something. I don't know.
Well, a shield is a shield in this. There are no variant shields in 5th edition.
Okay.
It's all just flavor. Except for a tower shield. I don't. I think I would have to give you some kind of penalty for a tower shield.
You know, I might
add tower shield to the homebrew weapons. We'll see.
I'm gonna dump this one thing of elephant meat because I'm sure it's spoiled by now.
Oh yeah, you probably threw that out before you got to town.
Yeah, I forgot I had it in there.
It's like over a week old.
Where did you get elephant meat?
You guys got that at the closed doors when you were going through all of the illegal stuff they had.
Oh,
I was gonna cook
why'd
it
you
and I
keep
forgot it.
Because it was
I was
free
gonna
meat.
cook with it. Yeah,
Guys,
I
guess
forgot
what?
about it.
Chicken butt.
I can officially afford half-plate armor.
Dear.
I mean, if you want to.
No, I do not want to.
I was gonna say that's quite an investment and kind of an idiotic move for you.
No, I'm
Almost
just saying
all
I
of
can afford
you
it.
would honestly be better off just having light armor, because of most of you have higher dex scores,
Yeah, I think I'll
See, I've
stick
got
around
studded
that.
leather armor.
which is the highest you can get as far as lower tier armor goes.
Yeah, it's not worth investing in medium armor to the penalties for 1 + 1.
You can get yourself some studded leather.
It's for a +1, and the amount of weight that it costs me and everything is not worth it to me. Okay, I would like to invest in sexy-ish traveler's
Lingerie.
clothes.
Okay. I mean, you can find it. You can find a set that fits you a little tighter than others might have.
Yes, I am looking for stuff to specifically
Accentuate.
Thank you.
How accentuating do you want to get?
Well, being that I'm a full-blown succubi and a bard,
Yeah, but do you want like a bustier?
I want it to be tasteful.
Okay.
yes.
So yes.
It's all to the imagination.
then
It
there
leaves little
won't
to the
then there won't
imagination.
it leaves there won't be an extra charge unless you want to get fancy with it. It's still just 2 gold.
Okay.
All right. Well, you guys have kind of fuffed about for most of the morning. It's getting early afternoon at this point. Luffy, in particular, is well aware of this because he knows exactly where the sun is and what time it is because of that.
All the time.
Oh, the
It is
I
a-
don't know why the
Awful
Keen
lunch.
Mind feat doesn't have an intelligence requirement.
I'm so smart. I got a 1 on my intelligence, but I'm smart.
Well,
So
no,
the
like somebody with a 6 intelligence could take the Keen Mind feat.
So we're heading to a random
Hello.
town
It's
that
called
just kind of
street
appeared out
smarts.
of nowhere one day, right?
Word.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, so no point at all in investing.
You guys could get horses, but I wouldn't get a cart. You're going off road.
Yeah, I figured
Yeet.
let's skip on that for.
Well, street starts is wisdom.
Hey,
I have much wisdom.
Nate,
Hmm?
I have a question about my inventory.
Hmm?
I have 6 books of Ayun, is that what it is? What were we doing with those again?
You have 6
Those are
books
mine.
from Ayun's laboratory.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay, I remember now.
Lorelei shoved them in there because
Yeah, I apologize. I was looking through my bag of holding list, and I'm like, okay,
What?
I remember that. I remember
Yeah,
this.
I just started looking for all my stuff and realized I don't have the books, and I'm getting concerned. Like, did I forget something? I went through the treasure; it's not in
You
there.
did forget
What's
it.
happening?
You forget
Yeah.
that you put it in his bag of holding.
What's
So wait, what is everyone gonna do now? Are we doing it specific?
specifically?
it's
We're
like-
taking baths and getting new clothing, being fanciful.
well, you just finished getting your new clothes and having a bath. Some of you, Lufier and Valeria, had like it's almost a small spa treatment. Like they got themselves scrubbed up and went into a very large heated bath. There's moisturizers and cucumbers for your eyes.
Fancy.
Yeah.
And which I ate.
Well, in that case, after I finished my clothing, I would have liked to visited some sort of thing where bards congregate.
A
bar.
tavern.
There's no
let's
college
see.
for the body
Oh,
here.
It's-
Or some place where, like,
Lorelei
music
technically didn't even go to
congregations.
Bard College.
No, I just have this urge to play music and share of our adventures, as I am a bard and I am being drawn to it.
Bard College is probably in Wildermyth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I seek to find a place to play music for people and tell of the tale.
Oh god, Nate.
Hmm?
If we had your Witcher class, we could have him play.
No,
That's
he's
no
not.
idea.
He's not rescue.
Oh no.
Toss a coin to Lufier.
What?
You'd be the Witcher. Everybody knows it.
That's true. Yeah.
Next campaign, I guarantee you're going to be the one who wants to take it before everybody else. Apparently, Biss wants to take the Summoner if I ever finish it.
Yeah.
I just want to be a person who makes items.
An Artificer.
Yes, I already have a character in mind.
Anyway, is there anything else you guys want to do for the day, or are you just going to gear up,
I wanna
get more rations,
go-
and get going?
I'm good on rations. I still got like over 9. Yeah. I want to go back out and look for that whip again.
You've already searched for it today.
Okay.
We're gonna stay in town for the day and enjoy ourselves.
Are we?
Yes,
I mean, it's already midday, so...
because Lorelei is missing as she has gone and started doing music.
I guess are we going to go back to the same bar, or are we going to find somebody else to stay for the night?
The same bar would be the best.
Arf,
Okay.
arf, arf.
Back to the kitchen.
Neck scratcher. Oh.
I'm going back to the bar, Nate.
Alright,
Okay.
you guys head back to the Squealing Pig. It's relatively empty because it's really fucking early in the day. What are you guys just gonna spend all day in the inn?
We should probably get some intel of where the Morn fellow is.
I was gonna say, as a reminder, Abyss and Valeria, you know where his house is.
No, we know where his house is.
We should visit his
Uh,
house. Like at least like
I
find it.
Valeria,
Hmm.
do you know anyone in town that I could sell some of this to? And I kind of point at my bag of holding with the wolf's bane in it.
I mean, so you point at your bag of holding.
I'm not about to yank out the fucking wolf bane in the middle of the tavern.
Yes, you are.
The ingredients for the necklace. I've got quite a bit of it,
Hmm.
like 800 gold.
Well, you know someone in particular who could use it, but they're not in this town.
I ain't gonna get rid of all of it. I also have. What was the name you told me to add?
Down.
The way you told me to add it was a certain weight of just quote unquote drugs.
I don't even remember. It's like it's like 8 pounds, but it doesn't
Yeah,
matter because
it's
it's in your bag, so it doesn't count towards your weight anyway.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Lufir basically has a snuff box full of fucking green plant,
I got your plant for you.
white flowers.
I don't know of anyone in town.
Yeah, history check, I guess. Valeria. Let's see if you have any seedy peoples you know of.
Oh,
You do not have those kinds of connections.
I don't.
The best you know is you have one person that you bought poison from once. And even then, you don't remember their name.
There's somebody I bought poison from, but they're probably long gone.
That's disappointing. But
You know the one man who would want it.
yeah,
He's
I
not
was
in this
looking
town.
to make some money. Well, it's alright.
You
We'll figure
can-
things out later.
You could attempt to have it sent.
I will pass. I'm going to deliver that to myself.
Fair.
Obviously, because I don't want anything to go wrong, and then we lose the advantage of being able to send shit.
Get kicked out of the guild for sending drugs.
The for cooking, the
And
spices.
stay on, bitch.
They
If you
enhance the
cooked with
flavor.
wolfsbane, you'd have a lot of problems.
The flavor goes straight to your brain.
Yeah. And it causes all of your guests to turn into werewolves that night. Who would have guessed?
One hell of a party. I guess, do you two have any other plans for the night? Anything to do with what you're working on? Yes? No?
They did just say that they know where his house is.
I don't know if they were
We're
talking
gonna
to each
go
other or
to
me.
his house.
You guys gonna bring the others along or no?
Do-
Do you guys want to go?
You guys
Is
want to
there
go
going to be
case some guy's house?
There's sneaking involved. Why not?
Because you have a history of being good at sneaking.
I am proficient in stealth.
Yeah, but you
At least
still
you know
got
where
caught
Luger's
several
morals
times.
Go to.
In my defense,
Actually-
Lorelei is missing.
Actually, I do
Great.
have to stay back. I
So
have
you
to
guys
cook
got
for
back
us.
to the inn and Lorelei started performing and left you guys alone.
Yeah,
Bye.
I had to cook. I
Nobody's
had to
even
cook
there,
anyways,
but Lorelei is
so-
performing.
Wait, no, I'm not at the bar. I told you I kind of just. Oh wait, did I go to the? Oh, yes.
That you said you wanted to go somewhere where people perform, and that's somewhere people perform.
I meant like a theater, but I suppose.
There's no theater in this town. Are you kidding? This is a mining town.
Lorelai, you're kind of an idiot.
I played an okay song for the empty bar.
I'm gonna let them
If it's
case
a
it.
song and nobody's there to hear it, is it okay?
I'm gonna go cook some stuff.
okay, you go into the kitchen to start cooking, and one of the other chefs shoves you out.
Goodbye, sir.
There is no lunch crowd here. If you start cooking, you're gonna ruin food. They don't have a smoker either, so you can't do any of your long preparation
okay.
meats.
You can't do your long meats.
Like, the best you
I
can
guess I'm
do
going
is do the same thing you did before, shove a bunch of wood into the bottom of the oven.
Wait, this part of town that we're going to where this person's house is, what's it like?
Well, he lives on... He kind of just lives in the common district. It's plenty of houses. There's like a park. And it's not really the park you might think of when I say park. There's like 2 trees, but it's a really open like courtyard area. Very finely done stonework.
Then you know what? I shall go and perform there, and it'll be less conspicuous.
Okay. So the rest is, I guess everybody's going along. Amartya and Rachicha will go play in the park because squirrel and tree in a place that is fairly barren of trees.
Because, I mean, let's face it, we got all these crazy colored
So,
rainbow people casing a house.
Lorelai starts playing, and Amartya and Rachicha just kind of start, sitting down, playing around. Rachicha goes up into the tree. And as Lorelai starts playing, she's being overshadowed by some of the other players in this exact same area.
Wait, are they a group congregating, or are they
Nope,
individuals?
they're individuals. And what's more, they're performing for money, so they have like a hat on the ground to collect tips, kind of thing.
May I go join one of them and do it for free? Because I am bored and I just want music and the attention.
Stop being an attention whore and actually do something.
I am bored.
Okay, you already rolled a 12 on your performance, so you start going over and try to like join their songs and doing like an okay job of it, but they just like keep giving you dirty looks.
I will wander back and perform my own song.
Okay, are you gonna set out a collection, like a pouch or something?
I don't expect any money, but yeah, I guess.
Great. So with a 12, you probably only make like 2 silver and like 6 copper.
Money's money.
Okay.
Buy a
Meanwhile,
sandwich with it or
Abyss,
something.
Lufir, and Valeria, you make your way to the building that was the directions as given to you. His house, as I mentioned before, is a single-story home. It's rather boring looking. It's mostly stone, just a little bit of like wood accents.
So it's not Tudor style.
No, most of the buildings are stone, given the mountainous area.
Fair point.
So
You
this is
guys
the
arrive.
place.
There's no lights inside. The house is fairly plain.
Doesn't look like he could be home, but who's to say he doesn't have some secret area inside?
Given that it's a little bit into the early afternoon, there are people going by about their business. There's moms outside of their houses having conversation with other moms. Their kids are running around in the street playing, stuff like that. So you guys, as I've mentioned, you're kind of a sight, and just kind of investigating the outside of his house. As I said, there's no lights inside. There's no obvious signs of anybody being home, but you're definitely drawing attention.
I think we should move along a little.
Okay.
Yeah?
You guys, where are you moving along to? You just gonna go back towards the park, or
Where are we going to his house?
you're at his house?
You're at his house.
But you're getting a lot of attention.
Oh.
You said, is there anybody nearby?
Yeah, there's kids playing in the street, people walking
Is there
up
any
and down.
adults nearby?
Damn kids.
Yeah, they're the kids' parents. This is a housing district, so there are, moms that aren't working or outside tending to their small gardens, watching their kids, having conversations. There are people walking up and down the street doing whatever chores they may need to be doing. There are like a few street cleaners going around just kind of sweeping stuff out of the middle of the road. Stuff like that.
Wouldn't it be
I'll
convenient
go
have
over to
somebody
one of
distract-
the mom figures
Mm.
and ask if there's anybody that is living in the house.
Okay, so you approach one of the women that are currently eyeing you all. She kind of like recoils a little as you get close. Hello.
Hello. I was wondering if there was anybody that lived in this house.
There was a man, a dwarf man.
Do you
Did
know
he
if-
move out?
I haven't seen him in a month.
Oh. Where would you think he would have been heading?
I don't know. He kept to himself a lot.
Did he walk around here?
Did you say work?
Yes.
Okay, it sounded like walk.
Did he work around here?
I think he had a job in the gem mine.
All right. Well, that's all we needed to know. I appreciate it, and sorry for taking the time out of your day.
She kind of nods and turns away and like hurriedly rushes off to go check her laundry or something.
I hate.
Thought you said her lingerie.
Oh,
She has to go check her lingerie.
lingerie doesn't exist.
I mean, I'm sure it could.
It could, but not in this setting.
Business opportunity.
Yeah, good luck finding someone capable of doing such precise stitch work.
If only we had spider silk.
God, it'd be so goddamn expensive to produce lingerie in this kind of a setting.
I mean, it's expensive to produce a lot of things in
Only
this
we-
setting.
Yeah.
If only we had spider silk. We made that.
The kind of material doesn't matter, Chris. It's literally the precision work that would need to be done. Like, even getting a bustier made is exceedingly difficult.
Oh, well,
Lord knows there's no such thing as a bra in this setting.
well, people, what do you suggest now?
We could go ask around the gem mine. See if he's still
You
around.
think that is best?
Just as a reminder, the house that owns the gem mines is the one who put the contract on him because he's a competitor.
Never mind.
She knew that he dealt in gems, and that's why she said he worked at the gem mine. And even then, she said, I think.
I have a idea. I could go to the door and see if he's looking for a personal chef.
You did not attempt to knock at the door at all or anything, so you guys could do that.
But
I mean, we could. He doesn't see home, but we could.
There's no way. If we're going to the door, I don't want you to incite. Because, frankly, you scare people.
And
Says the guy who turns into a wolf.
Yes, but that's the choice. You intimidate poor lady. She ran away.
It's just because Valeria
yes,
has
and you
horns.
shoot
not
away
turn-
and listen.
Do
You
not
shoot.
turn into a wolf in public places.
You shoot
It's gonna
away
scare the people.
a lady at your confessions booth. Well, not concessions booth. There we go.
That was a long time.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was a month ago.
That was a month ago.
It was many moons ago.
I don't think either of the moons has finished its cycle yet.
Listen, God.
Anyway, do what you will. We will
Alright,
be
Great.
around here somewhere.
going to... Yeah, that.
No response.
Yeah.
Going to go and knock on the door.
No response.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm gonna try and jiggle the handle.
Okay, you jiggle the handle. It's locked.
How tall is the door? Can I see into it?
You see into the door.
Or can I look past the
Can
door?
I
Is there like a window?
Through solid
There,
wood.
there's windows. There's a window on the door, but you'll have to crouch to get to it. This is a dwarf house.
No, that's a fair point.
So
I go back to them. That does not appear
the,
that anyone
the
is
house,
home.
by the by, is a normal size. It's just that the window on the door is dwarvenized for obvious reasons.
Is the front of the house enclosed by anything obstructing view from the outside, like any bushes?
Most of the houses on this street have a small garden at the front. His is entirely dead.
Oh, okay, so there's no cover.
Mm-mm.
Well, I do not see any other options, for me at least. So, do what you will. I had done my...
As a note, while you guys are about town, you do see presence of the Feyguard, but it's generally pretty relaxed.
I
So
don't...
the Feyguard again is the army of this continent, but they also serve as town guards in some of the major cities. There's generally Feyguard presence in every single city. And they keep the law and such.
Well, Valeria, yes?
Nope.
What do you suggest we do?
Just to kind of paint more of a picture, there is no alley between these houses. They're built literally next to each other, one by one by one by one. However, there is a back alley that goes between rows.
We should check the back alley.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, you walk down the back alley. It's 5 feet from side to side. Pretty much just stone walls all the way down.
Is there like a back door?
No,
To this house?
there's like a singular back window on each house, and a gross, muddy, brown-ish stained spot. This city does not have a sewer system.
No. Oh look, dwarf poop.
Yes. Why are you so fascinated with this?
Yeah, strange sound.
You
Okay.
You could smell it to try and tell what he was eating.
I will pass. That is something I do not want back in my nose, the smell of poop. Well, this is your operation, you two.
Like I said, it's a singular window. Probably very best guess is it leads into the quote-unquote chamber pot room, which is not quite a bathroom. Yes, Lorelai is just dooting it up, being outperformed.
Get dooted on.
Do 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 do.
Do.
If I went to the window, would the adjacent houses be able to see me?
Anybody who looks down the hallway can see you guys. It's literally just straight shot walls and windows. There is a house on the opposite side.
Well, I am out of ideas. I don't want to get caught.
Okay. At the park, there's kids playing with a small, like a very rudimentary ball. It's basically just a whole bunch of cloth rolled together into a ball form and like very roughly stitched to try and keep the shape. There's this, little girls playing with dolls. There's kids throwing rocks and stick fighting. There's two very large trees growing out of the only dirt patches that this area has, and it looks like these dirt patches were carved out of the plateau specifically to plant these trees in.
Is there a store nearby?
There's a couple of shops.
I would like to go buy a ball.
Okay. Make an investigation check. Amartya will join you. Just because she's bored. Yeah. So whatever you roll gets a +2. Great, natural 1. So the two of you go off on an adventure to find a ball.
We're gonna have a gay old time.
You're gonna be wandering the city for a few hours.
Looking for ball.
Ball is life.
Oh no.
Exactly, ball is life.
No.
So meanwhile, the three of you who are in the poo hall between houses.
Poo hall.
Literally, this is an alleyway where poop gets dumped, and that's about all it's used for. There is a singular drain point in the very middle of it. Somebody apparently comes by every once in a while to
sweep it into.
Basically. I mean, it smells back here, by the by. And anybody who looks down and sees you gives you like an absolutely disgusted look.
I just wave.
Roll persuasion.
Oh God.
Yes, persuade the poop.
Persuade.
What?
18.
Oh.
Okay.
Ow, ow, ow.
So, you come off friendly enough that they don't call the guards. But you are getting the sense that the longer you stay here, the better the likelihood that a guard will see you.
We need to leave.
Yeah, move into the front.
You need to leave, or you need to get the hell in that building. You guys gotta stop. You guys gotta stop fuffing around because you've been standing around for 20 minutes doing nothing.
You need to get the hell into the building.
Then go.
Perception checks from all three of you. This is with your eyes, so no adventure. Yeah, perception. Okay. Lufier, you do notice that there's like every once in a while there's a small gap where there's no people walking by the alley. You guys both of you notice that there doesn't currently appear to be anybody using their back window at the nearby houses. You're going to have a very small chance to try and get in, and as a note, the window does open, but there is a latch. So you'll either need to break the window or try to think of a way to open that latch.
How high is the window?
You'll have to stand on somebody's shoulder to get to it. Or
Wait, I'm 6'4".
I'm 6'4" too.
Luffy and Abyss can probably just barely reach it up at the top. Because the pit slopes downward. So you guys are technically below the house right now. Just to make things easier to, roll towards that drainage.
So can we try to open the window then?
You can attempt, but how do you try to move the latch? The latch is on the inside.
Is my I can't do it. I'm gonna say is my S-Stock's not thin enough to slide through the side.
Use tools could work.
Yeah.
You could try. Thieves' tools aren't quite made for dealing with this kind of a latch.
What kind of latch is it? Like,
This is like a bolt lock latch.
What's a bolt lock?
So
Slides
it
in
slides
and
in and
action.
out, and then it also has a lock position.
Is it on hotel doors?
It's similar.
Okay.
It's like a higher quality of like a bathroom stall latch.
Ah.
Goes in, you push down to lock it in place.
So you would
Yeah, I've
need
seen
you
those
would need to
sometimes.
you'd need to somehow spin it and move it.
One of them has had mage hand.
that will never happen.
I mean, you
Yeah.
could break the
The only-
window, but
You can use your you can attempt to like just remove a small amount of the window, make as little noise as possible. Abyss and Valeria can attempt to make a thieves' tools check to do so.
Okay.
had them cut it.
They have a glass cutter as part
Yeah,
of thieves'
do we?
tools. If you think thieves' tools are just for picking locks, you were wrong, sir.
Thieves' tools is what roll?
It's a thieves' tools. If you're not proficient, then this would be still dexterity. 'Cause
I'll assist.
you have
Actually,
I was gonna say Abyss should probably assist you, but nope.
but never mind.
Great. So Abyss attempts to use her kit to try and cut the glass so that she can get into and reach the lock. You guys try to give her some cover so that she's not easily seen doing this. However, since you didn't wait for assistance from Valeria or assist Valeria instead, you end up cracking the window in the process. It makes a very audible noise.
Oops.
Shit. I'm gonna try to hide.
Where?
Yeah.
I don't
Where?
know where.
This is a
I don't know where.
straight hallway with nothing in it except for poop
I'm-
and a slope.
I'm walking away. Walking away as quick as I can.
Yeah.
We're getting the fuck out of here.
Great. You guys start booking it back to the park. You successfully broke the window. But unfortunately, you had to leave the scene.
We can always come back later.
Make stealth checks to not be noticed when you exit. Okay.
The
Abyss.
only thing I can imagine is this group going, smash. They run away.
Shit myself.
We were a good place for it.
what you were doing.
All right, so
We
you
wore our
guys,
brown
you.
you
pants.
guys make your way hurriedly out of the hall,
The poop pit.
the alleyway.
Guys,
Mm.
I have not found the ball yet, but I have found an ice cream.
No, you haven't.
Nikki has given me an ice cream. I have found ice cream, Nate.
Well, Lorelei hasn't. And in fact, as Abysslevier and Valeria get back to the park, Lorelei and Amartia are nowhere to be seen.
Oh,
Where did they?
where did they go?
Who knows?
I'm gonna sniff for squirrel.
Okay. Make a perception check at advantage.
A mix sniff for a squirrel.
Sniffs
In a
not.
park.
Sniffs north. Okay. So you start sniffing around for squirrel. First thing you notice is you still smell a faint smell of poop. And that's when you realize that you, unfortunately, tracked some boot on your boots. Or some poo on your boots.
Some mood on
My foot against the
Some boot on
ground.
your boots. There's boot in my boot.
There's a poop on my boot.
Kind of go scrape it off. Don't quite pick up the scent of squirrel because Rachacha also had a bath today. But you do pick up the scent of like no, it would be like the scent
Music.
of lavender or something. Whatever
Fuck
scent Lorelei ended up using at the bathhouse.
I found it. I smell pompous. Follow me.
You smell sexiness.
The sexy smell
You smell
of
more pompous than
pumpkins?
Lorelei. Mister, I'm going to the fancy place and putting moisturizer on my face.
Hey, you know what?
Look,
I got a question.
I just did it for the warm bath.
How was
already.
that $5 shower that you just stepped in poop over?
Well, the poop's on his boot, so
It's freshly
Poop down my
clean.
boot.
his boots aren't freshly clean.
No,
Yeah, his boots weren't cleaned. His clothes were.
I'm wearing my fancy clothes.
Your fancy poop clothes.
Lord of
So
the
you
Shire.
start
I will-
chasing
yeah.
after the scent of the bathhouse. After about 20 minutes or so of searching, you don't find them.
Did I find a bathhouse?
No, but you did run into a few other people who also went to the bathhouse today.
They're like, oh, hey, I remember you.
No.
We smoked the video.
You're quite hairy.
Well, it's official. I can't trust my nose. I have
The only
no
reason you
idea
couldn't
where.
find them is because the natural one, they are lost.
Oh God.
We're not lost.
Oh, yeah. Where are you
Hey.
right now, huh?
Nate, it's Lorelei. She's in a world of her own, so I'll just consider that she just forgot what she was doing and took off wandering.
While Amarty is with her.
Yeah, I'm just wandering at
Poor
this point.
Martia.
I completely forgot about the ball. I am just wandering around the city.
And that's
Amarty
what that's what
definitely
was
would
gonna
have
say.
given up on the ball.
Poor Amartia, stuck with Lorelei in the city. Do any of us have any candy from before? Maybe the squirrel would come to us.
Amarty finds her way back.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
After your 20 minutes of searching, you guys go back to the park and Amarty is back there and she's like, "Hi, Lorelei got us lost."
So did my nose.
She probably dragged you along, Lorelei. She's probably being more along the lines of, "We should go back to the park and find the others."
Oh, I'm in a world of my own, so I don't care.
Great, so you're just lost in your own world following Amartia.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so after a while of searching, you go back to the park, and there they are.
Unfortunately, we didn't get much taken care of. I stepped in poop,
That he did.
but I'm still wiping my boot on the grass or the concrete, whatever we're standing on.
The stone.
Yeah.
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 I would suggest, though, we could take a look later to see if they have repaired the window or even noticed damage. I'm sure they will. But a nighttime operation would
Also,
be
drink.
more advised.
So what you guys
What
doing?
time of day is it, Nate?
It's still pretty early afternoon, like 2 o'clock or so.
Okay.
Hmm.
My character knows, but I don't. So what are we doing, people?
Squeaking, apparently.
Squeak. Stretching, apparently.
I don't know.
Death.
Dying, apparently.
Well.
Yeah, that sounds right.
What exactly are you guys supposed to be doing? Valeria?
Locating and finding the man named.
The man with the braces.
I
Nobody?
wrote this down, but I don't know my own handwriting. This is bad.
Check the Discord.
It's
Besides
in,
Mom
it's in
Fellow.
player notes.
Yeah.
It was the man with the braces.
Because Abyss was smart enough to put it in there.
Yeah. Delius Morn. Did I say that wrong?
No, that's Morn Fellow.
Daedalus Mournfellow.
Daedalus.
So,
I was supposed to return him alive or dead.
more money if he's alive. And if he's brought back alive, you're supposed to bring him to the family.
Well, I
The
would
Trellis
suggest
family.
that we go back to the bar, spend some time, and come back at night. Because A, it's daytime. B, we just made a bit of a ruckus.
Well, yes.
So, I'm going back to the bar.
Alright.
Everybody else going?
I'm just kind of wandering aimlessly.
Come on, alright. Gonna go make music at the bar.
Dude!
You
Okay,
guys, you guys could just go around town.
Yeah, we could just wander around town for a while.
Alright, the bard will sing of tale as we wander.
Make a performance check.
Uno momento, por favor. I'm trying to actually sit back down. Okay, I've sat back down.
The pad has landed.
Thank you. Thank you for the update. I'm sitting.
And throwing
Okay.
Excuse me.
So Lorelei starts to sing a merry song as you guys explore
God.
town with Valeria
Not a
at the
merry
helm.
song.
You
I am singing.
Great,
of our-
Lorelei sings a very saunter and sad tune as you guys start going about town.
I will accept that, Nate. I will
Stars at
accept
night are
that.
dull and dim whenever they have to shine over Dumbo's stupid island.
And people are going to think it's a funeral procession.
Oh god, I love that.
Nobody died, we just have an emo bitch on our team.
Alright, so you guys start to explore about town. Valeria kind of taking the helm and pointing out some of the key stuff as you guys go about. The market district in the kind of nearby where the crafting hall was. There's all sorts of different shops and vendors. She takes you by the northern part of town, the noble district. It shows you the house of Sir and Lady Velton. Would you like to read their blurbs, Valeria, or would you just like to speed past this part?
Read the blurbs.
Blurbs.
I was going to speed past it, but they want to read, so
It's up to you.
I
Hey,
can
man,
I
you're
can
listening-
do the reading if you need. Instead of role playing it, I'll just kind of give you guys the rough descriptions.
that works.
That's better.
Okay, so Sir and Lady Velton, they're older noble family, but they're not originally from Ardlin. They're from Innsvale. A lot of the people tend not to like them because there are strange rumors that they are murderers and monster hunters. Then there is the most illustrious home, the biggest house, Lady Innistray's home. The Innistray family is not the oldest noble family in the town, but they are, as I said earlier, Lady Innistray is the one who runs the noble council. She's the head of it currently. Most of the family is human, although occasionally half-elves are born, and there is currently talk amongst town as you guys are walking about of one of the younger half-elf females is looking for a groom. And she's being raised to become the new head. Even though she's the youngest of the current family, she has been selected as the next heir. Then Valeria takes you by the noble estates for the dwarves. These are very fortress style homes, built into the side of the mountains up at the north part of the town. On one side you have the Maudlin dwarves. They're the ones who own the main mine, as I said earlier, and they are the oldest family in this town. And the head of their family is married to one of the other family, the Trellius. So they used to be at very bad terms, but once the two of them got married, it was like Romeo and Juliet style marriage. Except they didn't die because they weren't idiots.
Well, they should have.
So, despite the fact the families still don't care for each other, but there's much more of a standstill. There's no longer any kind of active violence or subterfuge. The second family, the Trellios family, owns the gem mines and the salt mine, which are over on the eastern part of the mountains. They were often the ones initiating a lot of the subterfuge, since the Maudlin family owns the main source of the mine. And then lastly, Valeria takes you by, it's not necessarily a single house, but there's this big grouping of very lavish homes all within one estate. And this is the court. Lower members of the Wildermyth nobles end up coming to Ardlin live here. So there's a bunch of different nobles, elves and Eladrin, that come and live in the mountains, and this is where they live. The head of this family is an Eladrin prince named Solaris, and despite the fact that he is of the Wildermyth nobles and that he runs the court, he isn't the head of the noble council, and most people don't know why. He does not speak of it. But he actively refuses to head the noble council of the town.
What's his name? Oh, I dare not say.
No, his name is Salaris.
I'm,
Sallaris.
I'm making a joke. What's his name? Oh, I dare not speak it.
I don't understand the reference.
Neither do I, because I forgot what it's from.
Well done. Going about the other parts of town, nearby the noble estates is one of the other well-known inns. The Faze Song. It's owned by one of the courts, and there's just constant music playing in there, but there is no source for the music.
That's pretty cool.
It's a very high-end place, and Valeria informs you that the only one of you who may even possibly get in is Lufier, but he'd need to put his adventuring stuff back in the inn. It's a very, like, private area, elves only, like, nobles establishment. Yeah. You guys end up passing by a lot of the different shops of various different kinds. As I said, the city has a lot of craftsmen because of the abundance of materials, save for wood. So there's all sorts of like stonework, metalwork, jewelry, gems, all that kind of stuff. Valeria also takes you by one of her favorite pawn shops, the Broken Carafe. The reason this place has its name is because they do repair work. They'll take broken pottery and repair it with gold and silver. Specifically, this is meant to be like in Asian cultures, they'll repair china with gold filament.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of a style of artwork that this place specializes in. Valeria probably also shows you guys some of the other guild buildings. No, actually, you've already been to them all.
Yeah.
And as you guys are kind of just walking around town, probably mention some of the Maudlin Mines, owned by the Maudlin family. The Trellius Dig, off on the eastern side of the mountains, actually takes like 3 days to get there. There's the Rock Wall, which is about 2 days climb into the mountains. It's the rest of the mountains are all, generally standard fare, but there's 3 strange points. There's the Rock Wall, which is a very sheer, like completely and utterly flat part of the mountain. There's no, like, it's not a rock climbing wall, it's just completely flat. There's the Ardlin Peak, which is the highest point in the mountains. There's some strange tales told about there. And then there's the Dagger's Edge, which is the second highest mountain point, and it resembles almost like a weapon sticking up out of the ground. And there's tales of that place as well.
Mysteries afoot.
So you guys basically spend the entirety of the day walking around town with Valeria, and she kind of gives you, like, the history of what she knows of the town. Tells you a little bit about some strange points nearby. And Lorelei plays a somber song most of the time.
I think feeling to our adventure.
The only thing most of you would find interesting, on the rock wall, there is a cave entrance with no way of getting to it.
That's helpful.
People have tried to do ladders up to it. People have tried to carve the rock wall, but it never works. The Ardlin Peak is said to have a monk who sits and listens to the whispers on the wind. And the Dagger's Edge is fabled to have an ancient weapon within the mountain. But it is an exceptionally dangerous place?
For the place that cannot be reached, we have supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge for later. How long did we pass?
The entire day
Walking
is
around.
basically gone. You guys return
it's
back to the
nighttime
inn.
now?
Yeah, you guys return to the inn and have dinner, and then it's nighttime. And Lufier is busy working.
I am doing the cook stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You are due to cook.
Lorelai, give me another perception check, please.
Perception?
Or performance, sorry. Okay, so Lorelai is doing a wonderful job performing in the inn again. Once again, there are a couple of other bards in there as well. You guys put on a lovely show. Lufier's cooking.
Who wants?
Amartia just goes up to her room and is just like, I don't want to deal with this.
Do I have the ingredients to make my sauce here, Nate?
Yeah, but you don't have too much to like serve it with.
You don't have any toothpicks.
That's easy.
Why would he need toothpicks?
Because that's all the people will be able to handle.
Most of the clientele here is dwarves, so they have decent constitution.
Oh. I want to try it, Nate. I want to see what
Okay, so you cook up your hellish sauce.
Who wants to
With
try my
bastard
special sauce?
What the hell did I just roll?
You sure did.
Well, unfortunately it moved, so... Great. So, about half the bar decides to try it.
Ah.
And of the people who try it... Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. So, there's roughly like 200 or so guests at night here. About 100 people decide to try it. And about 40 of them collapse to the ground, grasping onto their throat and just like just keel over, burning their mouths off. Another like 20 people are just like downing every drink they can get their hands on.
I'm just laughing.
About half the people who tried it said it was pretty good. That's about it. And they're all like giving the other ones a hard time. Oh, come on, you babies. Can't even handle a little spice. You need more fire in your belly anyway.
That's what I like to see.
Meanwhile, Abyss and Valeria.
Yes.
I'm assuming the two of you head out back towards the house.
Yeah.
Alright. As you get closer to the house, you do notice that there is a small guard presence. There's one at, like, guarding the entrance to the back alley on either end, and then there's, like, one just sat on, like, the front stoop of the house.
Nate said stupid.
Well, I mean, it's stairs that lead up towards it, so basically...
I was gonna make a poop joke with it. Forgot to.
Well, we fucked up.
So, what you doing?
Well, we're not doing that. Not tonight, at least.
Alright, so you guys just head back to the inn?
Eh.
Okay.
Do I see them enter?
After like an hour after they left, they come back. Takes like 30 minutes to get there. This is Ardlin is technically a larger town than Artwall is.
Big.
This is a big
He's
place.
Big.
This big place.
It's huge.
Give you a hug like big fat Siberian bear.
Yeah.
But yeah, from the kitchen, you do probably spot them eventually in the crowd. Davis and Valeria can go back to the guild house for rest. And everybody else's rooms are provided because of Lufier working. So you guys have some drinks if you want to. You'll have to pay for them. And head to bed for the night.
Good night.
Go sleep.
Good night. Go sleep.
You guys wake up, well rested, long rest.
Morning.
All your stuff back, even though you didn't use any of it. You have your breakfast and meet up.
Good morning.
Morning.
I assume things didn't go as planned last night.
No. The god presence was at the back alley and on the front stoop.
I'm going to have to figure something out then, huh?
Yes.
Don't
Are we
forget you
sitting
guys
down for
have
breakfast, or did we eat breakfast?
you guys have finished breakfast and are currently sat down together. Abyss and Valeria don't eat with you guys here. They eat back at the guild house.
Okay, I will continue to do it.
As a reminder, don't forget that you guys have Cerilius with you. Cerilius can do things.
Mate, you didn't have to say that. Everybody figured
He can't like turn invisible. He can't turn you guys invisible, and he can only polymorph for one of you. But just so you're aware,
Drop my dice.
Wait,
he is capable of turning himself invisible.
I have a question. What spells am I able to do?
What?
I'm able to change spells once.
You can change one spell per long rest.
Correct.
It has to be the
spell.
same level as the one you lose.
That's one I'm aware of.
And
Category limitations is what I meant.
first level spells, you can choose any of them. And then you need to look at the forbidden magics for any level above first.
Okay.
But invisibility is an option if you choose to take it.
Shall we try again?
So, no results found.
Valeria,
Yes, sorry.
if we get back to the house and the guard is not there, could we try just to,
There we go. Spells list.
I don't know, pick the lock on the door?
In the
During
middle
the
of
day, no.
No, I did not mean right now. I meant nighttime.
We could try, but that still leaves a lot of open area to be seen in. Plus, who knows if the lock is strapped or not. He was a man that knows of his presence.
Yeah, but you already broke the window.
The,
If you were to trap. I mean,
I'm at the lock.
Oh, the front door.
It's trapped. Yeah. I'd say we could try the back window first again.
alright. Again, I'm assuming not now.
Not now. We could check, but probably not now.
Yeah, if we're going out, Nate, I'm going to again look around. for that weapon.
Okay. Investigation.
Weapon.
He's looking for a whip blade.
Oh.
Okay, so Lufier decides to spend an hour at the crafting hall again. Doesn't find anything. As a note, the first room that you enter into when you enter the crafting hall, the one that's actually made of pillars, has different vendors each day. Most of the other vendors have permanent places, though, once you get into further rooms. So the first room is worth checking every day if you want to see what's new, but otherwise the other vendors are fairly stationary.
What kind of weapons are in the first room?
None. There are
None?
currently no weapons being sold in the first room today.
Is it armor?
Nope. A lot of building materials, crafting stuffs. You see that there's like a huge bulk. Somebody is trying to sell bulk stone. Somebody's trying to sell bulk wood. It seems that most of the front room today is being used to sell materials rather than goods.
Okay.
So there's trade goods for sale.
Left side.
Cough, cough. There's trade goods for sale. Lorelei.
I know, I heard the trade goods, but if we're going to unknown city, that appeared to be kind of pointless to pick thing up now.
Who knows what the unknown city needs, though?
And there is another problem. You just said, who knows what it needs?
Alright. Anybody else want to do anything? Or are you guys gonna head towards the Daedalus' house? Or are you just gonna waste the day?
Well, I think they want to wait until nighttime again.
Wait
Unless
until
they're-
nighttime to try and get in again.
Yeah.
Great.
I
Same
feel-
thing
Out the
as
house.
yesterday. Lufier's busy working. Because
Well-
that is the deal he made.
I was gonna see
And
if
we
you could.
still have the rest of us.
I was gonna see if you
Amartya
could
is
walk
not
by
tagging
the
along.
house during the day, so that you know.
You can go
The
scope
same
it out
people.
during the day.
No,
I'd ask-
invisibility is an option.
I'd ask Lafier to go check it.
What was that, Lorelei?
If invisibility is an option, and it is the next day, I would like to appoint that matter.
Invisibility is a second level spell, so you can change out one of your second levels for it, and then change
Okay.
it back the next day.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it on my list because I'm just gonna delete it off the invisibility off my list. This is just for the day.
Okay, so Lorelei could turn herself or one person invisible.
I would suggest if you're turning someone invisible.
Not myself because I'm kind of stupid.
Yes. Do it and let someone check out the back while I knock on the front door.
You're busy during this.
No, they're scouting. They're scouting during the day.
Do you want to do the invisibility during the day?
Is it one time a day?
I think Valeria has 2 second level slots, so she can do it twice.
I have 3.
Okay, she can do it 3 times. So you can only maintain it on one person, though,
Yeah.
because it is
That way we
concentration.
can get a peek at the back window and see if it's been smashed still. If they
Oh dear
replaced
God,
it,
it's
well,
concentration.
Actually, what meta magics? Or no, you're bard, not a sorcerer. I forgot you changed for a moment.
So what do you guys suggest? Just want me to knock on the door? Is that scouting, or do you want to look at both the back window and front door?
Both.
Okay, well, as a note, the back alley is still guarded, but the front door isn't.
So someone's gonna have to sneak past the guard. Who wants to go stealthy?
And as a note, casting a spell in the middle of the city might get attention if you're not careful.
The poop palace.
Poop pass. Why don't I go knock first, and then we'll see what happens.
Wait, how long does
Does
this
that
spell
sound
last? Yeah,
sufficient?
let me just
I
make
think
sure.
it lasts an hour.
Yeah, because if we're close enough, we can just turn them invisible. Oh my god, I don't want to cast it. I want. Oh dear Lord Almighty.
But again, reminder, casting in the middle of like the city streets might get attention.
Oh
He
no, no,
gets
not
Aurelius
like,
to fly in through the window and unlock the door.
He can definitely open the window. He can't quite fit through the broken glass. So if you want to have him try, he'll have to do his best not to get noticed. He'll be invisible, but he still has to open up the window to get inside. The window is still broken, by the way. But it's only like enough to get your hand in, kind of broken.
Yeah.
Then I shall create a distraction.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Kind of distraction.
Yeah, what kind of distraction?
I'm a bard, for Christ's sake. I'll drop my pants and take a crap in the middle of the street. What kind of distraction does a bard do?
You're also a succubus.
Okay, so you're
Yeah,
gonna walk up and start
succubus.
playing music at the Fayguard.
Yes, I'm going to sensually play a sensual song of sensualness.
Okay, so you're gonna attempt to seduce.
Seduce.
Because that one's a performance check, the other one is a persuasion check.
Are you seducing or are you
I will
playing?
go knock on the door.
You know what? Performance and persuasion are both the same for me, so it doesn't really matter.
Great. So are you seducing or are you playing music?
How many people am I trying to distract?
One.
Two.
One.
No.
They're at either end.
Fair.
Okay, if it's one person, then seduction would probably be the best.
Great. Persuasion check.
Good luck, buddy.
Okay, so
Can I-
Lufir goes up and knocks on the door. Cerilius flies over and goes to the window and waits for the distraction, I guess.
I would like to inspire myself on the in case because I know it is me.
Okay, so first you sing yourself a little song to pump yourself up.
Pump, slap myself across the face and then other
Start
part.
like fixing your boobs a little. Tighten your vest slightly and open up the top just a little bit more cleavage.
Come on, girls, give me power.
Pretty
Take
much.
what your mama gave you.
Ladies.
Okay. I guess I'll roll against that. I don't know. Okay, he's interested.
There. I went to stack a 4 on top of it.
That's 6. Your bard inspiration is a 6. A d6.
Damn it.
Whatever, you rolled a 4.
Yeah, I'll
He's
take that 4.
interested. He rolled below your 12. He's interested.
There we go.
Take him and do your succubi stuff.
No.
No.
Do
This
not.
is no time for the stuff.
Okay, so the guard nearest the door or the window is distracted. Cerlius opens it. I'm gonna have you roll for Cerlius, Jenna.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you his sheet.
No, Lord.
yeah.
She's gonna get a sheet. Holy shit.
All right, so
Okay,
you should
then.
see Cerlius in your options. I guess I could make him visible to all of you. All right,
Yeah.
so please roll a dexterity check for Cerlius with advantage.
I found hide.
The advantage works the same way as yours. Up at the top of the sheet, it has advantage, or you can just roll twice. 12. Okay, he's distracted, so he's got disadvantage on his check. Let me just, I'll do this one again. Yeah, he notices. So, while you're trying to distract him, Lorelei, the guard is kind of like... He doesn't really react too much as you're getting closer. He's just kind of like... He's definitely watching. And then there's like a creaking noise, and he looks around and behind him, and he sees that the window is opened. Ceruleus still goes inside.
No.
And telepathically tells you, Abyss, come back tonight. I'll open the door for you.
Okay.
Because Ceruleus can stay invisible inside the house and just kind of chill. So the guards kind of shoo you away, Lorelei. A couple of other guards are called for, and once again, for the second day in a row, they search the house that is empty. This is the second day in a row where they're just like, why are people trying to get into this house?
There's nothing here.
They didn't even take anything.
What
They
are
poop
they
on the
doing?
floor.
There's no poop on the floor anyway.
What are they doing? They haven't taken anything. Why are they messing with us?
Great. So the rest of the day goes by. Who's going back at night?
I am.
Okay.
I can't.
I will.
Lorelei, are you tagging along?
I mean,
You're the
it's
one with the
music.
invisibility.
Yeah, I kind of have to.
You don't have to, but
Well,
yeah, that'd be
presumably there's going to be a guard at the door and both of the entrances to the fucking alley again.
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
How far are we from said location?
Takes like 30 minutes to get there.
Is it even worth going tonight?
Maybe not, but you'll have to leave Ceruleus there for another day. Which, I mean, you can. It's not like he cares.
It
But the
feels rude.
house might be like gone through by the time you get there, just because of boredom.
Fine.
I mean, I'm still
It's
trying to
it's
figure out
more
why
up
the
to
hell
Abyss
we're
than
trying to
anyone
go
else.
into this.
You could go alone and have Lorelei make you invisible before you leave,
Okay.
but you'll only have 30 minutes once you get there to do what you're going to do before your invisibility wears off.
Oh.
And there's going to be a guard at the door, so
So you have to get in through the window, which Ceruleus
If
can't open for you.
Decisions.
If Ceruleus is fine with waiting for a day,
How far is Ceruleus' telepathy?
60 feet.
You could go back to the house and just communicate with him telepathically while he's in there.
If he's using the message cantrip, I can.
No. He has limited telepathy with Abyss.
Oh. Oh, okay.
We can do the telepathy.
I mean, you don't even have to be invisible for that one. You just have to
Okay.
be, like, walk down the street every once in a while.
Okay.
Alright. So you head back and kind of take a seat at a nearby bench. You have to get up and kind of pace around every once in a while because the bench is just out of range.
Okay.
But you can tell Ceruleus whatever you want to tell him. Give him whatever. Ask him to do what you want to. So what do you want him to do? He will inform you
can-
that no one's been in the house except for like 2 guards, and that the bed's cold. There's no signs that any fire's been lit any time within the last like 2 weeks. And there's
Are we able to search?
like a couple of locked drawers on a desk.
Do you think you can try to unlock the door, the drawers?
He doesn't have the ability to pick locks. Yeah. Well, here, I'll roll it. Let's see what he gets for his investigation for just combing the house a few times. Okay. So while you were gone all day, he spent the majority of the day just searching the house while invisible. Because he can just stay invisible all day. So he finds there's a couple of locked drawers that he can't get into. He'll have to either get a hand on your thieves' tools and attempt to pick it, or he can attempt to just jimmy it open.
Okay.
He also finds a stash below the floorboards of gems.
Fake?
Nope, they're real.
Oh.
And it's only because he got a fucking 21 on his check. I gave him advantage just because of the sheer amount of time he spent in the house and the sheer boredom he would experience if he wasn't doing something. So, yeah, he got a 21. He found basically everything there is to find.
Wow.
Underneath the pillow, he does find... he finds the key to the house, so the key to the front door.
Yay.
Yay.
He didn't find a key to the desk at all. Probably he figures that the dude probably took it with him when he left. He did also find let's see, he probably would have found a ring as well, stashed with the gems. So he found...
Does the ring say anything?
No. It's a silver band with etching on it.
What's the etching?
He can't understand what it says. So he found gems worth about probably gems worth about 650 GP. An unknown ring. And key to house.
Da-da-da-da.
That's what he found. He did attempt to put the ring on, but it didn't seem to do anything.
So he just kind of tossed it back in.
It either requires attunement or it's just a ring.
Okay. We can try to use the key, so like we can like pick the locks in ourselves.
I mean, if he gets you the key, you guys could just go into the house and pretend like you live there or something.
Okay.
But it is currently guarded.
Okay, we should. When will the guards leave?
You get the sense that the guard currently standing watch isn't going to be leaving until the morning.
We should wait for at least tomorrow.
You gonna
And
tell
the adventure
Cerlius that to
continues.
wait until tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right. He informs you that that's fine, but you better bring him either a toy or really good food.
We'll make sure to bring the best breakfast food we could get before we leave.
Deal. Great. So Abyss comes back, probably reports what the hell happened, except like leaves out a lot of details. And and after once again another day of staying, doing a whole lot of nothing, you guys go to bed, wake up in the morning, and head out
With some breakfast.
with we'll say it costs you like 2 silver to get some nice bacon and some eggs and some toast or something for you.
Okay, I'll pay for the breakfast.
All right.
It's only 2 silver.
Yeah. Ta-ta.
Guys, I just read this thing. It says cabbage wine style sesame garbage salad recipe.
What the hell? Sesame garbage?
It makes the recipe sound that much delicious.
Must be like a mistranslation or something.
No,
Anyway, those of you who, I guess all of you, make your way back towards the house in the morning.
Way back down.
To the house.
There's, once again, there's guards watching the back alley. As you guys approach, Ceruleus does ping you, Abyss, and
Okay.
once he's aware that you guys are there, he just kind of slides the key under the door.
Okay, I unlocked the house.
Great. You unlock the door. Make a persuasion check.
Oh.
Abyss.
Damn.
Yeah, just kind of being like to an air of, okay, this is my house, I'm going inside, kind of a thing. So most of the neighbors don't pay any mind to you. The lady that you guys talked to like 2 days ago kind of gives you guys an eye, but then seeing that you have the key, she's like, I guess they must have bought the house. Yeah, you guys enter inside.
That's right. What
My
it?
self-check, Nate, is for when we're walking around so we don't make noise.
Okay. So you're walking around quietly and suspiciously.
I'm not just
What?
quietly. I'm not like creeping around corners.
Liar.
All right, so you're making a point to keep your footprints as quiet as possible, which slows the pace of the group down a bit.
He does
The
the
rest of
honk
the group
thing.
can-
Or the rest of the
rest of the
group just
group
goes
can-
off without you.
Yeah, they can move around all they want. I'm gonna be slow because the guard out back here is clomping around the house.
Are you doing this as you get closer to the house, or like the whole
No,
way
once
here?
we enter. Once we enter.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like middle of the street do the the whole
So-
speed walk. I'm not.
You guys enter
kind of thing.
into the house, and the front room is, I suppose you'd consider it like the rest room, meaning that it's got like a couch and a small shelf with some books on it. On the couch is a pile of gems and Ceruleus laid up across them. Hey,
Hey,
did you bring
buddy.
breakfast?
Yeah. I
He-
pull out the breakfast I bought.
He eats it, skips the bread, but like just demolishes all of the bacon and the eggs. Could have been better bacon.
I'll figure out where good bacon would be.
I don't think good bacon's in the mountains.
No,
Mm.
it's not.
No.
Anyway,
Definitely.
look. And he kind of stands up and rustles, like shakes a bunch of gems off of him that he was sleeping in. It's a pretty decent sized pile of smaller gems.
You literally are a little dragon.
I mean, yeah.
How do you find it comfortable to sleep on?
I mean, they're all round.
Smooth on the
Like
back.
money.
They're all smooth gems.
Hmm.
Mr. Krabs, Mr. Krabs,
Do you
Mr.
want to-
Krabs.
Do you want to put them in the bag of
That's
holding?
me, boy.
I mean, they could definitely fit in somebody's backpack.
I was just thinking of space.
If Abyss wants to put them in her backpack, or you can just put them in the bag of holding, it's whatever.
You could put it in the bag of holding because it'll be less conspicuous.
Okay.
He also hands Abyss the silver etched ring.
Hmm.
And,
Can I try to read it?
okay, you can't make out the reading, or the etching.
Can Valeria make out the reading?
Do any of you know Dwarven?
I think
No, never mind.
Nope, I know Gnomish.
So if none of you know Dwarven, then no, nobody can read it.
Okay, at least we know what language it is.
Is it a
Valeria
book or
can spend
something?
10 minutes to try and decipher it, but it would be... I hope you don't need anything else translated for the day.
Or save it.
I
Hold
would
on,
like to say I could take the pen tomorrow.
You could take a different spell tomorrow. Going
Tomorrow.
further into the house, there's like a small kitchen, small table in the corner with like 3 chairs. Everything's relatively like there's a thin layer of dust, but everything's like in its place and relatively clean, except for the dust. And there's a small room for the chamber pot with some broken glass. And then there's a relatively small bedroom that has basically just a bed and a desk. And
Can we
a
try
small
to open the
closet.
locks? The desk locks?
Yeah, shall I try to...
You guys want to pick the locks? You can roll separately, or one of you can have advantage. Or no, actually, because Abyss isn't proficient, it would only
I'll
be...
help Valeria.
Okay, so Valeria, you get plus whatever Abyss's dex is.
Okay. Dexterity.
Yeah. Abyss, what's your dex score?
20.
Okay, so plus 5. Okay, so that's a 19.
19.
So between the two of you, you managed to pick most of the drawers open. The only one you can't quite get is the large bottom drawer. So going through the other drawers, the top drawer has a journal and what appears to be some, like some invoices. Unwrapping the cord and opening up the journal that is bound, you find it is written in Dwarvish.
Well,
Most of the invoices are in common. Just it seems to be mostly him selling gems. It has the names of purchasers are blocked out. He's covered them up. But he's sold, based on the invoices, he's sold somewhere close to like $500,000 or 500,000 gold worth of gems in the past like 100 years.
that's highway robbery.
He's been doing this for a very long time. The dates go back almost 100 years. Basically to when the town was founded.
Jesus.
But not Ardlin. The name of the town is one that none of you recognize. Valeria, make a history check.
Would I recognize it because I wouldn't recognize it because I've not been there, but
The only person who has a
age-wise.
chance to recognize this is Valeria. You were not even on this continent, Louvier.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You know there used to be an attempt to make a second town at the northern end of the mountains. The Maudlin mines used to connect to the northern side of the mountain until the chasm ripped open. The chasm that separates the northern and the southern parts of the Ardland Mountains. The northern town is this name. It used to be called Felwyn.
Felwyn must be that mysterious city that we're talking about.
It used to be the name of the city to the north before.
The town, once the chasm
It's
opened,
in the north.
there was no connection to the town, and as such, supplies started to slow down on their way there. That, combined with the Knoll assault, the town was destroyed and decimated. There were rumored to be few survivors, less than a dozen, out of a town the size of about 300 people.
So it's like Felwyn 2.
If you want to look at it that way, sure.
You would also know that the area north of the Ardland Mountains is absolutely owned by gnolls. There are hundreds of gnolls that live to the north of the mountains. However, the Hunters Guild was conscripted for dealing with a lot of them after Felwyn fell. The survivors from Felwyn spent every single gold they had getting that all the gnolls killed that they could. It was a huge payout of roughly like 10 gold per gnoll.
You're talking hundreds of gnolls.
Yeah. There was one adventurer known for killing gnolls who retired after killing more than 100. He was a barbarian who was very well known for killing gnolls in a single blow. Yeah, he made something like 2,000 gold in the span of a month and retired.
Yeah, that's all right.
High levels adventures against low level gnolls, fun stuff. There are still gnoll problems in the Ardland Mountains, though. Specifically, the northern mine is currently infested with them. And as such, it has not been reclaimed, so it is believed. But
reclaimed by the gnolls.
With the sudden appearance of the new town, who knows?
Do what I do.
Inside of the second drawer, you do find a lot of blank paper, some ink files.
I'll take that.
Okay. You get 2 ink files and like, God, how much does paper weigh? No, this is a thing. 5th edition has parchment as an item.
I'd say like 0.25.
It's less than that, but it's like
How much does ink weigh?
ink.
You have 2 wells, so
Ink is negligible. It's 1 ounce. So you don't have a weight for the ink. The paper also doesn't have a weight, but there's quite a bit of it. So we'll say that it's like 30 pages of paper. And it weighs like It's negligible.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but you have 30 pieces of blank paper and 2 inkwells. There is a third long drawer that stretches across the top part of the desk. You managed to get that open because of a 19. Inside of there, you find a full set of jeweler's kit. Everything is in there, as well as a few more uncut gems worth about 75 gold all told. So that brings the total up to 725 gold's worth of gems.
Is that how much it was for the small pile as well?
What?
The small pile that I put in my bag, how much was that worth?
No, all of it, including what you just got,
Okay.
is 725. And then, like I said, you guys didn't quite make the bottom drawer. You didn't quite open it. So, now what?
I'm...
If you give Valeria a piece of paper, she can translate one of the pages of the journal.
Do we want to do that here or back at the
I mean,
inn?
it's up
People
to you
think
guys.
we own the place, so
Alright, I'll get paper.
Which page would you like to translate, Valeria? The journal is not fully finished, by the by. It does end somewhere in the middle. Like, he hadn't finished writing into it, or he didn't take it with him when he left.
So he finished it towards the middle of the whole book, so I'll do the middle of that middle.
Do you want to do the last page that he wrote, or no?
No, not the middle of the whole journal.
So
I meant like
you want to
middle.
just translate a random page in the middle of his journal. Okay. So, Valeria sits down at the kitchen table for 10 minutes and starts to translate. What do the rest of you want to do?
Where am I located?
Inside the house.
Great.
Can I try to freeze off the big lock?
It's not an external lock.
Oh.
You can attempt to break open the desk, but you might make noise doing so. There isn't a window in the bedroom, though.
Okay.
You just run the risk of making noise loud enough for the neighbors to hear.
Wait a second, Nate.
Hmm?
I have a mercurial dagger that you said could change shape into anything.
Hmm?
Could I possibly use it to open the lock?
Would you like to try?
I would.
All right. So you can turn it into an object the size of a dagger. What kind of an object do you turn it into, or do you just want to turn it into a really long key?
A really long key.
Great, make an intelligence check
Oh lord.
to try and make the key the right shape.
Can I do the thing?
Can you inspire yourself? You can certainly try.
Wait, I do have an inspiration too. Okay. Yes. All right. Wait, what was this thing again?
Oh, God.
Intelligence, you said?
Intelligence. So Lorelai
God
starts to
help
sing
us.
to herself, "We need a key to open this drawer."
Womp.
And I would like to use my inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I need?
It's a D6.
Okay. God's help us.
So you've used an inspiration for the day, but unfortunately, your key does not open the lock.
Damn. Oh, we tried.
You can try and make something else.
Can I change the shape while it's inside of the object?
That's what you did to try and make the key.
Oh, I was just like, okay, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'll be right back, guys.
okay. Any other ideas, Lorelai?
I have no idea. Here, I don't know what to do. The only thing I could do with Lorelai is just to jam something in there, trying to break with mad.
I mean, you
flooding
could
it to a pop.
jab a dagger in there and try and forcibly break the lock. Any of you could try that, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's not fun. Wait a second.
Me
Is there
though.
a gapping anywhere in the thing?
I mean, there's a gap between the desk and the drawer, yeah, a little bit.
Could I maybe try and flatten the blade and try to the lock?
Okay, so you flatten the blade and try to... What are you... You're trying to do like a card swipe to open the lock?
I mean, I'm gonna try just about anything. Yes.
Okay, well you find out that the way this works is it locks by twisting bolts that go into either side. So you're now aware how the lock works.
Well, that is still helpful.
If you wanted to forcibly open the lock, you'd need a way to break open those two bolts on either side. You'd either need to spend a very long time with like a very good saw, or you'd need like a long time with a good file. Or you could just attempt to break open the drawer.
I mean, let's try to break it open. I guess
The drawer?
thing. Well, the lock itself.
Okay, make a strength check.
Oh God.
This is what these things
No.
mean.
Better than I
You
expected.
damaged the lock, but it doesn't break open. It's now harder to pick. Not that matters.
I really don't have any spells other than to like confuse it.
Well, the knock spell isn't allowed in this campaign currently.
I don't even have anything like that.
By the way, this is a separate day, so did you get rid of invisibility?
I did.
Okay.
Hold on.
Anybody else want to try and do something to this last drawer, or are you guys giving up?
Okay.
can
I
no-
can try
you
to
can
do
no
the
long-
actual.
You could no longer attempt to break the lock, because Lorelai attempted that.
Oh.
So you'll either have to attempt to break the drawer, or break the desk.
Maybe not
I'll
break
try to break the drawer.
Great, make a strength check. Nope.
An 8.
Somebody comes and knocks on the door.
Oh fuck.
Who's the most normal looking one of us here?
Who cares about the normal looking? Because that's you, here.
Who's closest
What kind
to
of
the door?
question is that?
Well, it's not the guard. He would have
Amartia's
just
probably
walked
the-
in.
Amartia and Ceruleus are probably the closest to the door, but Ceruleus has gone invisible, and
Yeah.
I mean, I could pretend to be a woman of ill repute.
I don't think that's what the guard wants at the house. We're not supposed to be at.
knock, knock, knock.
Shit. I gotta answer the door.
There is no downstairs, but okay.
Oh,
You go and answer the door.
It's one floor.
There is a female human standing out in front of the door.
Lord, I am so glad I did not to pretend.
Hello.
Hello. I heard bumping noises.
Oh, I am so sorry to disturb you. We are just moving in and moving some things around.
Oh. Make a persuasion check. Or sorry, deception, because it's a lie.
No.
Oh, it's bad either way. It's bad either way.
All right, let me roll insight.
Yeah, I have a -1 in charisma, so yeah, it's bad.
We're screwed.
Yeah.
You just moved in.
Literally just walked in the door a little while ago.
I haven't
That
seen
light.
any furniture coming in.
Oh, it's the stuff that's been here. Where, whoever was here last didn't bother to move any of the stuff out. It's covered in dust. It's horrible. So we'll do some cleaning and then hopefully we'll be done making so much noise.
Nate,
Wanted to
he's
check
not
Nate.
lying.
I-
We are doing some
I
cleaning.
need another persuasion check then.
Persuasion or
She's
deception?
looking at you like she absolutely does not trust you.
Deception or persuasion?
You're not lying this time, so persuasion.
Can I inspire him?
Nope. Unless
Damn.
you want to give yourself away.
Yeah.
If you did just move in, I suppose you have your paperwork?
It's somewhat around the house. I mean, you want to come in and take a look at the dust. It's horrible.
I think I will.
Oh, sure, come
Why'd
on
you
in.
let her in the house?
Why would
Okay,
you let her
so
in?
you open up the door and she walks inside and immediately spots Amartia on the couch with Ratisha. And Amartia's just like absolutely dumbfounded look on her face.
Forgive her. She's not in the best of moods. She does not like the dirt. The squirrel's a squirrel.
The lady stops, sees Amartia, hears more movement inside, and sees Valeria at the table.
Am I still writing?
You probably have finished at this point, so you're well aware of what Luffy has just done. She notices all of you, save for Cerilius,
I'm just kind of rubbing my head at this point.
and
Hello.
walks back out the door, and walks out of sight.
We have to go.
Yes, let's go now.
Yes.
I'm hoping let's go.
Let's take the desk. Let's just grab the
Yeah, I know.
desk.
Just leave the desk.
Grabbing the desk and dragging it out the room.
I grab Marty by the hand and just go.
Are you actually gonna try and drag the desk, Lorelai?
No.
You couldn't have just said that we were testing out the house.
It doesn't matter what he said. He failed both rolls.
Yeah.
She
You know
rolled,
what?
She rolled
I
a
will-
14 against your deception and a 16
Yeah.
against your persuasion. Like, she absolutely knew.
Yeah.
And then once she saw that there were more people inside, she's like, I'm gonna go get the guard.
And that's why I grabbed the Marty and Sam and I ran.
We gotta
Let's go.
fucking leave.
Let's go. Let's dip.
We're dipping. We're dipping. We've dipped.
Good dipping.
Cool.
Dope.
So you guys roll stealth, all of you.
They do this to me.
I don't know if we can.
You did this to yourself.
I did nothing.
You did this to all of them.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Behold my greatness, all of you.
Cerilius. Oh god, they finally all came through all at once. Jesus.
Yes,
Cerilius.
Yes.
No, Cerilius is invisible. and casts polymorph on Abyss, turning her into a sparrow. So, roll again for your stealth, Abyss. Okay, so that would be... Alright, so Abyss just flies out. Cerilius also flies out because you don't see him. And the rest of you do your best to try and avoid being seen. Lufier's not doing so great at it. Valeria's got advantage.
I don't want to get caught again.
Because of your skulker feat. And so long as you avoid direct sunlight. Which, given that it's overcast, is not hard.
Somebody's pants unzipped.
Wrong kind of
zip
hard.
tie, but sure.
Anyway, so you guys get away. Eventually regroup back at the inn. Valeria has her translated page of the journal. The page mostly just talks about he has found like an inside passage into the Trellius dig that isn't well guarded.
Oh.
It mentions having found some clients for additional gems and he sells them at a slight discount. But other than that, not really any decent information in the middle of the journal.
I mean, it does tell us there's a path.
Yeah, into the Trellius dig to steal from them.
Oh. It doesn't tell us to go through the fucking cave.
No.
Oh.
It's just him describing how he came to how he found another entrance. It specifically says another. Like he's been doing this since they founded that dig site over the last 100-ish years. Also, I just realized I misspoke earlier. Ardlin is more than 100 years old.
Okay.
The other town was only 100 years old, and well, no, it was destroyed like
Yeah.
It got
30
yeeted.
years ago, so it was only like a 70-year-old town. But yeah, it describes he's got a new entrance into the Trellius dig and finding sellers for his discount gems. So yeah, no useful information.
Nada.
Well, if we wait till tomorrow, I could probably do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Comprehend language.
Well, I mean, not like we're going back out anytime soon.
So, what are you guys doing?
We should
What time of day is it?
probably
Skip down.
start heading north.
What time of day is it, Nate?
Probably still late morning.
Yeah, I'd say if we have all the rations and all that.
Let us see. Do you guys intend to go around the mountains, or are you climbing through?
Which is the shorter path?
I mean,
Climbing.
neither of them's really technically shorter.
They're very tall and it's while around.
I
So-
think we should
I'm
go
used
through.
to
Going
traveling through
around
mountains.
132 miles.
How many miles can you travel?
It'll take us about 2 weeks walking.
Movement, travel pace. You guys cover roughly 24 miles a day. at normal speed. However, you'll also be going through a kind of rough terrain at some point, so it'll be slightly more, probably about 6.5, 7 days, so basically a week. Whereas going through the mountains means having to... You can't go quite straight through because you have to avoid the crevasse that opened up. You'd probably be about 5 or 6 days of going through the mountains.
So about the same.
Yeah, it's only about a day.
Here's the advantage:
we
we
should
go
go
through
around
the
it
mountain, less likely to find.
Going through the mountain. After.
Yeah, but we'll have to fight gnolls and there's us.
You're more likely to fight gnolls going around the mountain than through. Valeria would know this.
Never mind.
While they do
Going
live
through the
in the mountains, they don't necessarily go patrolling through the mountains because there's not a lot of foot traffic. Specifically because there are other dangerous threats in the mountains that the gnolls won't want to deal with.
Yeah.
What's in the mountains?
In the Ardlin Mountains, wyverns, it's not large enough to have giants. There's a tribe of oh god, what are they called? Goliaths. There's a tribe of Goliaths.
Question then.
Hmm.
Would horses be a benefit to us?
If you were going around, they would speed up the pace.
Can we use the same type of horse to ride?
What?
Can we use the same type of for us to use the cart as we would be to ride up?
No. They are different kinds of horses. A riding horse is faster. A draft horse is the one that pulls a cart, and it's meant for much longer distances. A riding horse will be faster, but it is also more expensive.
No, I was thinking about just getting some draft horse.
A draft horse would be like slightly faster, but you'd also have to buy the food for them.
Son of a bitch. Man, I have no idea. That's all, guys. I'll let you decide.
Well, I mean, we're...
Unless maybe we find some that's already heading in that
Hello.
direction, we can hitch a ride.
I mean, if you're footing the bill for the horses, I would say the horses.
That's kind of what I was doing. I am buying a cart for the group, as I've
A
stated
cart will slow your pace.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to do it. I wanted the horse now. If it's pointless to get horses now, then
Can't you just buy a bunch of draft horses?
It wouldn't
the
help
cart?
your speed at all.
yeah.
How much are the rates? How much are the speed horses?
Let's see. So a draft horse
Right.
is 50 gold, and a riding horse is 75 gold. The riding horse goes 20 feet faster per round, so you'd get there in about 4 or 5 days, depending.
Yeah, so not really worth it.
You'd also be riding all day, which should cause possible exhaustion for you and your horse.
Exactly, so not worth
We're
it.
better off. We're better off on foot at that.
Yeah, it's literally better for us to walk cheap
Alright,
and yeah.
let's get hoping.
So you guys gonna head out of town?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And since we're headed north, I know where north is.
Yeah, but you're not heading into the mountains, so you don't want to head north. Do you guys get any supplies before you go, or are you just heading out?
Oh, we should probably get some rations.
You can get your ration.
You're gonna need like a week's worth.
And given all the rations we already had on it.
Don't forget that you ate your rations on your way here.
Oh yeah.
So you should be down. If you started with 10, you should be down to like 4 rations.
Yeah, we should probably get some rations.
Okay.
It's 1 gold for 2 rations. Unless you want to get higher quality ones, which don't give you any real benefit other than just being better food.
I'll spend I'll get a platinum's worth of rations.
That is a lot of rations.
That's okay.
Yeah,
How many is it?
That is 10 rations.
That's 15 rations that I have.
Or sorry,
on,
that's 20 rations. Because it's 2 per
God.
gold.
Alright,
And don't
25
forget that they
rations
weigh
I have on
like 2 pounds each.
me. Yeah. Okay, I'm only gonna get 5 gold.
So 10 rations. Everybody purchase their rations.
I will.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me how much you're getting. Just pay your gold and get it.
Okay.
Alright. Well, in that case, you guys start making your way out of town.
And we were immediately stopped. Nikki?
No. You guys do kind of have to skirt your way around some guards. You do see that the guards are out and about, and they seem to be questioning people. Those of you with a perception of... I don't even... Does anybody have a perception of 15 or higher?
I do.
So does Amartya. So the both of you notice that rough illustrations of Lufir, Amartya, and Valeria are going around. As they are now searching for you guys because somebody who saw your face is well aware that you broke into the house.
We didn't break in. We used a key.
You were trespassing in the house.
I will accept that.
We are not getting arrested again.
Well, I mean, you guys are currently leaving town. I rolled a percentile to see if you were noticed by the sheer number of guards, and I rolled above what was needed, so you guys were not seen.
Yay!
I just want you to know it was a 30% chance that you guys were found, and I rolled a 35. So you got damn
Just
lucky.
over the mark.
You guys make your way out of town and follow. You're going to be following the road until right about here. So about 2 days of following the road before you break off.
Okay.
So you guys head out. You are going through mountainous terrain right now, but it's a mountain path.
Mm.
So you're kind of just walking the path for a day. Well, actually, only half a day. So you guys are like still almost on the outskirts of Ardland still.
How much have we eaten so far, ration-wise?
You guys would have had a meal, possibly 2 while still in town, so you don't have to eat a ration today.
No food.
Also, make sure that you all have filled up your water, because you would have done that when you were getting your rations.
My mind is my tankard is filled every day.
Not when you're out traveling, it isn't.
No, I mean, if we're not traveling, it's filled every day. Also, I believe I have a spell that I can create water.
Create and Destroy Water is a higher level spell.
It is a level 2. I can't remember. I hope. God's sake, I hope it was a level 2.
Create or Destroy Water is a first level spell.
Ha ha ha! Guess who can make you guys water?
You can create 10 gallons of clean water in an open container.
Can I
can make-
melt Ray of Frost to make water?
No, because
No.
it disappears
Okay.
instantaneously. Also,
Okay.
because of the limitations of Create or Destroy Water, you have to have a container to put it in.
It's
Meaning
freaking.
you could fill up your water.
That's fine. One canteen can give water to everybody, right?
Yeah, but you also have to spend a spell slot to give everybody water every day.
I mean,
or
that's
you
fine
have
in
to
case of-
find somewhere to like create the water in, like
And in an emergency, we have water.
What?
you also have to lose a spell to
Water.
get it.
In an emergency, that is fine.
All right. So the first day goes by. You guys have left Ardlin. You make camp in like a small outcrop, and you guys. I'm not going to even have you roll for watch. Basically, the night goes by pretty boring. Until roughly early in the morning, Lufir wakes you all up because the guards are coming.
What?
The guards have gone about town, and some of them are now doing patrols just outside of town. So, Lufir wakes you up. I need all of you to make stealth checks to hide from the guards doing patrol.
I'm starting to hate this group.
You were the one that caused this.
No, Chris
Yeah,
is
that
the
was
one who
me.
caused this.
I so did it. It's me. I'm so fucked.
Ceruleus once again turns. he turns Lufir into a newt.
Ah! I'm a newt.
Turn me into a newt.
Yeah, my name
Oh,
is Chris. I'm
I got
proficient.
better.
Garbage.
I got better.
Martia just like doesn't even stick around. She just takes off and gets to the point where she doesn't even need the stealth anymore. But they definitely saw her fly away.
Waka!
One of the guards notices you, Valeria, as you're hiding off amongst the rocks. But once Amartia starts taking off, they're too busy chasing after and then immediately heading back towards town to get reinforcements. You guys either need to go find somewhere new to hide or have to attempt to outrun horses. One of the guards
Hiding.
stays behind to keep you guys' current location. So he is who you have to attempt to outrun or get away from.
Or kill.
I mean, if you guys want to kill a guard,
Or I could just attempt a spell cast on him.
what spell do you want to cast on him?
Nate, take one wild guess what spell I'm gonna cast.
Oh lord.
Invisibility.
Why would I cast invisibility
God.
on that guy?
You're going to cast
Let go.
Phantasmal Force or
Yeah.
Charm Person.
I don't. Charm person's like what, a minute long?
Lasts an hour.
1 hour.
So you
And that was-
could literally tell him to go the fuck away for an hour.
Yeah, but he would, notice me, and that would cause problems. I have 60 feet. I cast Phantasmal getting.
Okay, just so you are aware,
Oh, it's only
Phantasmal
for a
Force, that and it's only one spot, and it doesn't move.
I'm aware it's just long enough to keep it acted, and it would have to be charm person. Wait, I wasn't seen in this situation, so nobody knows what's going on.
You're not one of the 3 drawings they have. Unfortunately,
Right, so
Valeria is the one who is noticed, and she is one of the 3 drawings. And then Amartya was also noticed, who was also one of the drawings. So,
great, now I'm part of the group who's been noticed.
you have to see where you're casting.
What?
She said to use Create Water into his lungs.
I mean, I could see his mouth, but yeah, I can't even cast that. I really don't know what to... Wait, what does this one do?
What does this button do?
Hold on. Oh, no, that's gonna be...
For the sake of argument,
Expediency.
no, Amartya was not present because she didn't want anything to do with you guys' job, so she's not one of the drawings.
Okay.
I'm going to retcon that.
Yeah. She would not be happy about that.
You know what? That's actually something she would do, too. Like, that
Mhm.
is totally an... I would not...
Yeah, you guys breaking into somebody's house, she did not want any part of that. So when she flies off, they don't go chasing after her, but they still notice Valeria.
How close am I to this guard?
You guys are probably only about 100 feet.
Okay. Is there any sort of, like, water, well, or anything nearby here, like a pond, a river, anything?
You guys are in the middle of the mountains on a mountain path. So no.
About 100 feet away. I'm trying to think of, like, I just start randomly playing my music and, like, make like I'm walking towards the road. That would be helpful. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna wing it. I don't care. I'm just gonna make myself come out of these bushes, playing my music quietly at first, and then making it louder as I'm like trying to come out of the bushes to make it look like I'm getting closer and closer.
Okay. So you start playing your music and approaching the guard.
Oh no, not the guard. Just like approaching the road. Just,
You guys are only like 10 feet off the road.
Oh yeah, and I'm just like nonchalantly
Walking towards town or away?
away. Oh, I don't know which would be a smarter idea.
Going towards him would be going back towards town. Going away from him would be away from town. And just so you're aware, you are right next to where Valeria is, still pretending that she is hidden.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk, I guess, towards him because it's less conspicuous if I walk
Hold up.
away.
Shreds, you really got to start remembering this. You have advantage on stealth checks when you're in an area of concealment because of your skulker feat. Roll your stealth again.
Damn it, Shreds.
I mean, either way, Amartya would have been noticed, but she also probably wouldn't have stuck around if the guards showed up because you guys keep screwing her over.
We're not intentionally screwing her over.
Okay, Valeria isn't noticed. Lufir is, but he's a newt. And Amartya is noticed. She isn't one of the people they're looking for, so they just kind of keep passing along. They do come up to question Amartia. So I will roll persuasion to see if she manages to just be like, no, I haven't seen them. Oh, no, I guess this would be deception. Which, I mean, is kind of the same either way. Yeah, no, no +2 on that, but 18 does newt stuff. Okay, so you scamper around. Okay, so that was just a crazy dream of what might have happened if Lufir woke you guys up. But instead, what happens is Lufir wakes you up, everybody hides successfully, and Amartia is just like, I haven't seen them, and they go on their merry way.
So we did not need to.
Remember
Kill a
how I said you guys need to pay a little bit more attention? This is one of those moments.
You guys remember how we're...
If you need to,
bar?
before we start playing, you should go through your abilities again. That might help. Also,
No,
You gotta learn to be less dumb of fast.
Nate, we'll call this a divine spark moment. We just had a really bad dream.
Not a divine spark.
if you want, if you call this one of your divine spark bad dreams, that means you guys all just received a debuff.
Oh.
Which means you get a negative to something. Also, just so you're aware, Shreds, you are mute right now.
Damn it, Shreds.
If you aren't already aware.
Damn it, Shreds.
I was not aware of this at all.
Damn it, Shreds.
Yeah. If you guys need to, you should go through your abilities real quick, because Skulker gives you advantage when you're in.
No, I did. Okay, so what I was saying is I was select advantage each time before rolling stealth, or if that was just automatically.
You either need to select it before you roll, or well, it's a toggle. So once you select it, it'll stay on until you change it back. But yeah,
Okay.
just toggle it on, then roll, and then toggle it off. Or you can just roll stealth twice.
I think I would rather roll advantage. But now I know that I have
So
to
now we know
toggle
what
it
would
each
have
time.
happened if Valeria didn't take the Skulker feat.
A bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, Lorelai would just walk around duding.
Dude.
Like she always does.
Yeah, like she
Yeah,
always
exactly.
does. Great.
She always dudes.
Am I still a newt?
You're still a newt until the guards are gone, and then you get changed back.
Hey,
Because
guys,
you were one
can I
of the
dupe
2
the
people
newt?
that got noticed. So you guys have another day of travel down the road. The guards do pass by again, so you guys all have to hide again, but this time you decide to just kind of like go into like a small cave, essentially. You're just like, we're not even gonna chance it this time, and you walk into a cave. Because god damn, if I make you guys roll again and it goes poorly, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can change this from a low setting to the campaign.
You cut out a
This
lot
is-
when you were saying that.
This is the jail cell
We'll just
campaign.
change this, yeah, we'll just be the prison campaign.
You guys do keep breaking the law. But then again, 2 of you are technically outlaws, 1 of you is in evil alignment. I mean...
I'm an even alignment, but I'm not a criminal.
And then another 1 of you is on the run. Technically.
Did I lose more standing?
I mean, yeah, definitely. You're now wanted in Ardlin.
I'm an alignment. I didn't shift my alignment more, did I?
No.
You did.
Okay.
Yes. Bad, bad.
You still definitely haven't made up for going back out to good. But
Oh, this raid's not gonna happen.
you treated the lady
Very
real
bad.
nice, but you also screwed over your party.
Bad. Very bad.
Oh, I should have took the actor's feet.
Too late now.
Alright. Another day of travel goes by relatively plain. Valeria can, or Lorelai can translate one of the journal if she takes comprehend languages.
Yes, I will do that, and I will swap out the.
It's just for the day, so unless you want to,
Okay, yeah, no, then not gonna waste my time.
because today was a whole new day, so I figured you would take that today.
Yeah, I will have switched Dissonant Whispers for that spell.
So, going through, it seems to be a journal from roughly the time that he moved to Ardlin, so after the city, Felwyn, was destroyed. A lot of it is him setting up his discount gems. He has found something like a dozen different entrances into the Trellios dig over the past 100 years or so. Over the past, sorry, God, I keep doing that. Over the past 30 years. It's been 30 years since Felwyn destroyed. Jeez.
It's okay.
The most recent stuff is what is interest to the current mission. He does describe that he wants to make an attempt to go back up to the northern mines. He intends to hire a group of adventurers to help clear a bunch of the mines and attempt to take that for himself and start rebuilding Felwyn so that he can create essentially so that he can go legit after all of this thievery he's been doing.
Well, that's good of him.
That's kind of the last entry is just him getting ready to journey. The last entry is from 2 weeks ago, and it does mention he's heard whispers that others have also returned to Felwyn.
So at least we know what we're looking for up there.
Well, you're now aware that he is in fact in that direction, because you guys might have actually left Ardlin with him still in town if you hadn't, if that weren't what I had already planned. Boy, would have that been a kick in the nuts. We need to go. We need to go now. He's still in Ardlin. Shit.
No.
That would be our luck.
Not again.
You guys probably also shouldn't go back to Ardlin for a little while.
No. No, I don't think we will.
No.
You have a month
I mean, we
complete
have
your
to for
contract.
like when we have to finish the contract.
So you have a month.
No,
Yeah.
Minus 2 days.
minus 2 days for
That's
the walking. And
still
how many
about
days?
30,
the village?
29 days.
Oh, wait, no. Minus 4 days, because you spent 2 days in town doing basically
asshole.
nothing.
Well, you could always sneak back in.
God, I just
It's
screwed
still
over our
about
group.
25, 26 days.
The months are 28 days long.
24 days.
Wait. 4 weeks, 7 days a week. No, it's 20, 30, fucking math.
28.
28 days. Yeah,
28
okay,
days.
so I was right.
Yeah, you're right.
Nate, you're struggling there, bud.
How did I do that so quick?
So, second day, relatively uneventful. You guys have one more day of travel before you get to the point where you have to break off from the road and start following around the side of the mountains to get there. You guys are actually just off the road already.
I'm gonna keep perception out for guards or anything else around us.
At this point, you guys no longer notice guards. They don't seem to come this far out. Mostly because it would take them more than it would take them more than a day on horse to get out this far. Unless they were like riding hard, but that's not something that's well advised. You can do perception still to keep an eye out for other things if you want. Martia will also join.
Shit. I see.
No, it is a Martian.
It's a nice day out. Just gonna look at the trees.
It's still partly overcast. It seems like a storm is definitely going to be blowing in. You guys are going to have to deal
Wet
with
dog
some
smell.
rain.
I'm gonna have to deal with wet dog smell.
I got tins for 2.
Calendar. It's also getting into fall at this point, so that it's getting slightly colder. But it'll still be fall when you guys get to the next town, so it's not like you're super pressed for getting anything. Especially since you guys didn't decide to go over the mountains, where it would have been much colder.
Yeah.
Is anybody doing anything during the third day? Don't forget to mark down 2 days of rations are gone.
I guess
It's
I
one
could
ration per day, right?
And you're
Yes.
2.5 days out. So it's 2
So-
days gone of rations. And
I
2
guess I
days
could-
of water is also gone.
I will just search.
Search.
Surge.
Search. Just wander around looking for things.
Okay. Perception.
Literally anything that catches my fancy.
Perception.
Oh, this is terrible. I'll waste a few hours.
Okay. Well, I just
Wanders off.
in a fit of wanderlust, just gazing all over the place, being led by the rest of the group, just eyes all over. Oh, there's a bird. Oh, there's another bird. Oh, hey, look, there's a newt. Oh, bird.
I have not the newt.
Newt the newt.
And the
What a
third day
newt.
goes by uneventful.
Oh, I was hoping to find something like Pokemon Golden Eagle
Gotta catch 'em all.
of immortality.
No, you did not spot Ho-Oh.
Thank you.
You're not Ash Ketchum. You're not gonna spot Ho-Oh and suddenly become unaging.
The only thing I'm gonna catch them is prison time with these idiots.
Oh, shit, that's how that
You're
happened.
not wrong.
Makes more sense now.
I mean, that's one of the fan theories. Anybody want to do anything during the next day's travel? You guys, as a reminder, you guys are no longer on the path. Lufir is your guide because you're currently heading north around the mountains.
I choose to continue to do as I did the night before,
We'll roll perception again.
with music this time. Dave, I'm sorry. I'm trying to play a really ADD character. I don't know what else to do.
His duding is disturbing me.
And Martia
We
will
need to
also
get you a real
keep an eye
duder.
out, especially since Valeria has told you guys that this area is like full of gnolls.
Much no.
You guys are trying to keep an eye out for gnolls. Martia does see signs of gnoll passage, but no gnolls are currently in view. And it stays that way for the whole of the day. She does inform you guys that there does appear to be, once you guys are getting about ready to make camp, she lets you know that there are gnolls. She can hear them in the mountain. So you'll need to keep watch.
They also like to travel in packs, so
Mm-hmm. So, who's taking watch?
Is it nighttime?
Yeah.
For the watch.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, I got
I
Abyss
like-
roll first. Valeria's got second. Lufia's got third.
I'm gonna use my ears
What do we
to
roll?
listen for sounds so
Perception
that
standard.
Okay.
yeah.
And then Lufia gets advantage for his.
Shit.
Although it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
Yeah, it don't matter to me. Cause, well,
There we go. What the hell?
yes.
What?
Nature.
That's totally perception.
Let's try that again.
3, 2, 1, go.
There we go.
I don't know why it's
15.
taking so long for yours to.
It's on my phone.
It's like it takes a minute for the numbers to pop up. Why?
Sometimes, yeah. So, Abyss's watch goes by rather uneventfully. Valeria gets utterly distracted and then ends up falling asleep.
Like usual.
Lufir ends up with both of the last watches, as usual, because there's technically 4 watches of 2 hours.
Nobody said there was 2 watches. I would have been
Well,
distracted. from other things.
Lufir is an elf. He only needs 4 hours of sleep.
Oh,
Not even sleep as much trance.
Yeah, he just meditates for 4 hours.
take that, you
So,
trans.
what?
Take that, you trans.
Oh, yeah, that sounded
Oh.
very different.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna try and make a joke with it, but then I stopped.
Yeah.
So, you guys, during the very early morning hours, it's still very, very dark, as the sky is completely overcast. Rain starts to fall, and with it, a lot of scents start to hit you while you're trying to keep your ears open. It's your nose that alerts you that something is definitely coming. And as you start to get up, you smell wet dog, and it's not you.
Oh, not again.
What do you do?
Yell everyone at the camp to wake up, and I transform.
You're gonna immediately transform?
Well, I mean, if they're attacking the camp, I gotta be ready. No, you don't know. I'm not gonna go into beast form yet.
You can already hear, as everybody else, as you're going and waking everybody else up, you can already hear, and now that you guys are all awake and on the map,
Hey, look at that.
Yes.
you are
Yep.
surrounded.
Oh, joy.
And that's where we will start next week, next session.
Okay.
Son of a
Eh.
bitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hey, the actual number. Oh.
Right.
Okay, it's
Hopefully
only
this time-
6.
Are those the fangs?
So you notice, Lufir, because you're the only one who's awake enough to perceive them as everybody else is waking up. Some of these kobolds, or some of these gnolls, look to be made of nothing but bones and fur.
Oh.
And one of them is large and, like, towering over the other gnolls.
Oh,
With
he's
much
the
bigger
ugly
muscles,
motherfucker.
big weapon.
Pack leader, pack lord, I don't know.
I don't know what these. He's an
Just
ugly
what-
son of a bitch.
Valeria, roll, I'll let you choose between history or nature. As you're waking up and spotting these gnoll creatures that you are aware of since you live in the region that they exist in.
I'd like to use my earlier misroll of my nature 20.
My nature and history is the same.
So
I'll
just
go
pick one.
History.
Okay. the larger one is in fact a Knoll Pack Lord, and the bone-looking ones, they're not alive. They are undead, but you don't know what they're called. You're just aware that they are. There are gnolls that sacrifice themselves and become undead.
That's great.
So yeah, as I said, that is where we will pick up next session.
Yay!